what's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? It's your boy Ice coming with y'all with the GCL Draft, man. And I'm here with. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Yo, it's your boy, the Puma, the Cheetah, whatever you want to call me. What's going on?
Hi guys, it's Miles.
And it's your boy Tank.
I don't have any cool nicknames.
Look, my name is a nickname by itself, and I am the Tank. I'm the factual Tank, and I'm the best in the ranks. Let's go ahead and get to this draft, though.
All right, man. How y'all? So we seen the last past college season and stuff. Who is next? Who y'all think? Like, give me y'all thoughts. Who y'all think is really gonna become like the top first pick, man? There was a lot of good people, between Miles being one of the steady quarterbacks all the way through high school, and also showing out in college. Chang, who wasn't really so good in high school, but that man balled out in college, stopping stops multiple times and stuff. Cairo running the ball tremendously well. Cardio Sydney right ahead doing his thing. It's just who y'all think. There's a lot of great talent, man. Who y'all really think is gonna be in the first pick, man? It's a tough choice.
In my opinion, I think you have to go with the my fault, Tank. I'll take this one. I think you have to go with Miles. By far, in my opinion, I think he was probably the best player all around. Well, I can't say all around player. He did just throw the ball, but the best player in the college series. Also coming off of a national championship win. But those guys like Eric Chang has to be up there as well. Don't forget about Surreal Cox, linebacker from Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Cairo, Cartier, Sydney, those are still guys that are up there too.
I was gonna say we can't forget about Surreal Mock, but I think the best guy in this draft is Eric Chang. I mean, I love a guy that can stop the other team from scoring and also score you some points in the process. He scored some safeties, got some picks that led to the offense being into some really good field positions, and also forced a whole lot of fumbles for LSU's defense. So I would say Eric Chang is definitely the best player in this draft, hands down.
Yeah, for me personally, when I look at it, player-wise, I think Eric Chang and Survio Mock are the best players in this draft, just overall. Mock has played offense and defense through college. Eric Chang has caused multiple turnovers and is almost like a generational type defensive player if you really think about it, with how good he played at LSU. But as for like what the pick's going to be, I do think it's going to be Miles, just because of what the defenders gave up to get to this spot.
Yeah, they did give up their quarterback, so they probably would be looking at quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's the way they head with it. Trading him to the Mustangs, their 24-year-old quarterback at the time. So I just think that has to be the move.
Yeah, 24-year-old X Factor quarterback.
Ridgeway, yup.
Yeah.
And that was a big pickup for the Mustangs. They really needed that because they didn't really have no quarterback. He did really no star over there. They needed someone that can really take over the reins. You feel me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
I love to see where they go from here.
Facts. So the defenders are actually now on the clock. The time has started, and the defenders they're really a good team. I seen what they did. They made a lot of moves to get to where they are. They have the first round. They have the first pick of the draft, and I believe the 5th pick also.
Yeah.
Yes, they do have the 5th.
And they also have the 8th pick.
Yeah, 8th and 7th.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have 3 top 10 picks, so the defenders...
That is crazy. Defenders are really looking to go heavy draft in this class. We got the upcoming and then I just want to say, man, it's gonna be a very interesting draft because you got D Ice who actually who entered the draft as a free safety instead of playing corner, and then you got Numa who put on really good, but just Cincinnati just wasn't really well. So, do you see how you feel about them two?
I would say. Go ahead, Tank. Go ahead. You can take it.
Okay. No, you got it. I'll take this one then. Bet. I love what I've seen from D Ice, but I would say he's a top 10 player. Numa, I haven't seen too much things that have popped off the screen for me. Numa, I know you're eyeing me right now. Please direct it somewhere else. But
no,
I haven't seen the crazy eye-popping stats or performances from Numa. He's just, but he has locked down his man. So I don't think Numa will be a top 5 or a top 10 pick. I think he's going to fall off the boards because of that. But I do think I would rank D Ice higher on my draft board.
I mean, what I would say, like starting off with the point, like starting about with me playing at corner, I would say definitely. I wouldn't say I'm a definitely a top. I wouldn't even say I'm a first round caliber player. Honestly, I would definitely say due to my height and also like you said, didn't really have any wowing factors or any wow stats on the stat line there. I would say I'm definitely a around a second round, high second round pick, maybe even mid second round pick at most. Um, Ice, very interesting case here. In my opinion, he's one of those players who has the build who can play just about any position on uh
Agree.
on the defensive
Yeah.
side of the ball. Probably besides defensive end and um D tackle, but just he has about just the size to play anywhere
Yeah.
on the field. So it was no surprise for me to see him succeed very well playing free safety over at LSU.
With that being
Yeah.
said, I'm sorry to cut y'all off. With that said, the defenders that actually has their pick is actually in.
Okay, you get to go.
The pick is in, and now it's time for the commission process to come. With the first pick in the GCL Pro Draft, first ever, the defenders select Miles McCain. Man, that's a crazy pick. That's a really good pick. You know what I mean? Miles really
Yeah.
coming out good. It was pretty much expected because there was really no other people that can really rival McCain, and the defenders really needed a quarterback after trading their last one away to the Mustangs. As you see here, his pros are his arm strength. That man can throw. He accurate throws. He puts on a diamond. He stays composed. He don't, overheat, run around and stuff. He stays in the pocket and composed. You know what I mean? His cons, obviously he with that limited. He's a pocket player, so he has limited running. He holds the ball too long, and his late reaction time. He do like react a little late to the defenders coming at him, but he really can put the ball there when he needs to.
Yeah.
Honestly, go ahead.
Go ahead.
McCain.
No, you go ahead, Tank.
I'm sorry, McCain, to ruin your day. I really think Eric Chang might have been the better option. It just depends on the roster of the defenders, though. If they have a middle linebacker that's already fine, then great. That McCain is the perfect pick, but you possibly could have gotten Chang though, and then I don't know. You could have gotten a good quarterback, but Miles is the best quarterback in this draft, hands down. He reminds me personally of Joe Burrow. And just because of how poised he is in the pocket, got sacked 9 times and still went crazy, no picks whatsoever. But I want to hear your thoughts, McCain. What are your thoughts on this pick?
Well, I agree with you with the Eric Chang. Like I said, I think him and Surreal Mock are the best players in this draft overall. So I don't disagree with you there. But like I said, just where the roster is for the defenders, I feel like when they traded away Ridgeway to get to the number 1 pick, I don't think there was any other way they could have gone with it other than quarterback.
You're right.
I mean, just for their fit, for what their team needed, they have needs everywhere. Let's be honest. I mean, every team in this league does. Just starting out, obviously free agency helps out some, but you're not going to be able to build a complete team through that. And so it's just a matter of what direction he wanted to go. If he wanted to wait a year on a quarterback, I guess he could have and roughed it out and probably would have been a tank season at that point. But I think just based on his roster, this was the best place to go or position-wise. But I do agree with you. I still agree that Eric Chang and Surreal Mock are the 2 best players in this draft.
I mean, I would agree with everything that you said, and also we gotta remember when we had assigned the coaches and the coaches got their teams and whatnot. Ty said this is what he was gonna do from the beginning. He said that he was gonna literally give up everything he could give up to get this number 1 overall pick, which he did, because he was just so amazed by at Miles McCain's play on the field there. But one thing I would like to say about the pros and cons that we see here. The con that he holds the ball too long. I mean, in my opinion, I do believe that's just because he may not believe in his speed or his mobility to get away from defenders. Which at this pro level, he's probably gonna have to address at some point, because even Tom Brady, who is slow as molasses, he still has some times where he still has to scramble away and get out of the pocket from defenders. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how McCain deals with that negative stripe on his collar there.
Yes, okay.
Agree, especially to get.
I don't want to cut you off here. I'm just going to say now the high roster is on the clock, so the time has been running. But go ahead and finish, Tank.
Okay, I was just gonna say he's definitely gonna have to get out the pocket to at least throw the ball out of bounds so that he doesn't get called for intentional grounding. which is that's where that comes into play a lot. But yeah, the high risers are on the clock. I think the clear guy to get is Eric Chang. I value him higher than Swervio Mock, honestly. If they don't go Swervio or Eric Chang, hey, they must have had a really good interview with Swervio Mock. I'm guessing.
Yeah. I think yeah. Go ahead, Numa. I'll go last.
I'm just saying, like, Swervio Mock, like Miles said, in the beginning there, he is a all-around player. He's played tight end in college, played middle linebacker in college. We even saw him play some safety and some corner in college. So, I mean, it just depends on what what the high risers really want. Do they want a Swiss Army knife, Jabril Peppers type of player, or do they just want to go with the dominant force on defense, which is Eric Chang?
Okay, so I just got news that the high risers pick is in. Repeat, the high risers pick is in. So we're gonna go ahead and take this broadcast down to the to the GCL Pro Commission. Hello, everybody. With the second pick of the first round of the first ever GCL draft, the high risers choose Eric Chang from LSU. Man, this is pretty much expected because Chang is one of the best, is the best linebacker coming out of the draft. His pros tackling ability, he can read plays. He's a big hitter. Moments making people fumble. Most time he hits them. But the cons is, he's a little too slow on his feet. Man to man is not, coverage is not really his size. He is undersized just a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit. And that pass coverage, he's not really a pass coverage guy. He's more of like a run stopper kind of dude.
Yeah, I like this pick a lot. Eric Chang, like I said, generational type talent. The one thing that worries me about Eric Chang, and this might be an unpopular opinion here, is if you go back and you look at the film on their two losses at the end of the season, the playoff one and the one against Baylor, he did not play the same. He wasn't the same player in those games. I don't know if there was an injury maybe bothering him, or maybe the season total of longevity. Like, is that the right word? I don't know. But yeah, long term, if maybe the gas in the tank was kind of running low, and that's something to watch because obviously in a pro season we're gonna have a lot more games than that, almost double or more than double. So that's something to watch. Can he keep up that consistent play? Can he consistently cause those turnovers? Can he consistently be that big hitter? Or is it going to be like in college where we kind of saw it phase out in the last two games? I'm not going to judge his whole career off that because, like I said, I do think he's the best player overall in the draft, and I do think he is a generational defensive talent. And in 5 years, when we're looking back at this, we're going to be comparing other people to him or trying to. But that's where I stand on it.
Yeah, I agree. That I didn't think about the injuries. That does play a huge role because he did miss a lot of, or not a lot, but some key moments in that LSU season. When he came back, he did show signs of the past Chang, but then he did show two signs of him not being the same Chang. Now in the playoff game, he did get that safety. But outside of that, he didn't really make that big of an impact for LSU's defense.
It wasn't those interceptions and big hits forcing fumbles that he had all year long that kind of prevailed that LSU team. I mean, putting his offense in great starting field position or causing turnovers for their defense to score points. And once they couldn't do that and he wasn't doing that, that team struggled.
Agreed.
I feel that. Okay, so I just got worried. Sorry to cut you off. I know, Numa, you wanted to put your thoughts in. But the Red Wolves pick is in. The Red Wolves pick is in. So we're going to take it down real quick. With the third pick of the GCL first ever pro draft, the Red Wolves select Surreal Cox, linebacker from Mississippi State. And man, it was pretty much clear. I didn't really clear, but we do actually have the owners of the Red Wolves in the chat now with us. So you want to talk us through it? Like, what was you thinking here, taking him?
Well, the Red Wolves really wanted Eric Chang. That was the guy that's on everybody's board. But we really wanted Chang, and once we couldn't get him, we was not mad at all about getting Surreal Cox. We feel like Surreal Cox is not just as good. He's probably has a higher potential than Eric Chang, and he's everything we need. He can play linebacker, he can play tight end, he can play wherever we plug him in at. and that's why we went with the pick of Swervio Mock, especially after hearing my coach Miles McCain talk so glowingly about him. So that's why we went with that pick.
I mean, yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna keep iterating what McCain said at the beginning of the draft. The best all around football player, because he's able to play both sides of the ball, play any position on defense, play just about any skill position on offense, probably besides quarterback. But yeah, still a solid pick if you wasn't able to get Chang, or it just depends on how you want to use him. It seems like the Red Wolves and Tank, they have plans for Swervio Mock, and I can't wait to see how that works for them.
Yeah, we're going through this process of evaluating players with Tank and everything. Our owner of the Red Wolves, we did like Eric Chain a lot, and I like what Tank said. We kind of feel like the ceiling could be a little bit higher with Mock just because his versatility, and that might be more long term for his career because maybe he loses a step later on in his career at linebacker. Well, we can move him to safety, move him to corner, where you can kind of play older there, and so that's something that we liked about him. We also liked the consistency of his play. I mean, every game he had something that he did right. I mean, he wasn't putting up the turnover numbers like Eric Chang, but he also was just, consistently making tackles and leading that Mississippi State defense.
I feel you. That's really true. The Kaiju is on the clock next, and they're on the clock now. So who y'all think they're gonna really choose for? The Kaiju gonna go for here? I feel like what I've seen, they need a running back. I feel like they might try to go for either Cardin Sydney or Cairo Woolberry, because they both tremendously good, put up tremendously yards that they need to do. So what do you guys think on it?
I want to hear. Well, I want to hear from you, Numa.
Why you want to hear from me?
Because we haven't heard from you. You keep piggybacking off of Miles. Give your opinion for one.
Yeah, you're right. All right. Well, if the Kaiju's need a running back, I mean, you have the number one rusher in Cartier Sydney, former teammate of Surreal Mock. You also have you have a very solid rusher. Former number two, debatable number two. Debatable. All right, I apologize. Number two running back coming out of high school in Cairo Wobe, played from LSU. I mean, either one of those picks is very solid. With Cartier Sydney, you're getting a release. You get more of a speedster, less power. Whereas with Cairo, you're getting really good speed as well as you're getting that power as well. So it just depends on the type of schemes you're running. If you have the offensive linemen, the offensive tackles, to you trust them to hold the outside, so Cartier can get to the outside and make get to the open field and make the plays that he usually does, and as he did in college. Or maybe you have the guards, that's going to be able to open up the floodgates so that Cairo is able to burst through the hole and just knock down every defender that gets in his path. Either one of those picks is very solid in my opinion for the Kaiju.
I feel down for that. The pick is in. So we're going to take it down to the GCL Pro commissioner, and let's see what he says. With the fourth pick of the first round, with the first ever GCL Pro draft. Commissioners mess up too. The Kaiju selects Tajay Gaddy from the University of Texas A&M. Man, this is, who would have thought of this? I feel like, I'm gonna put my thoughts on it real quick. I feel like this pick right here was not it. This is not a good pick because it's not really suiting to where they really need it. It's just, I don't know what they was thinking. I don't know if they just wanted to take a reach. This is a big reach, in my opinion. This is a big reach.
Yeah, I agree. I would definitely say right player, wrong time. This is a super reach to get Tajay Gaddy up here. Not saying that he's a bad player, really good player, really solid, plays very solid for Texas A&M, but just not a top 5 talent in my opinion.
Okay, look here. This is where I stand on this. Tajay was the best player coming out of high school. I mean, you could say all the stuff that happened in the past. We're not mentioning the player or anything, but you could say that person maybe was. But Tajay played running back and linebacker, and the stats he was putting up on defense coming out of high school were amazing. He would have been the number 1 recruit coming out. He goes to A&M. Maybe doesn't put up the best of numbers, but partially that's our fault because we messed up on some things.
We apologize.
I'll say this: he's the fastest linebacker in this draft. North, south, east, west. Anyway, he's going to get there. He can run with anyone. He could run with receivers if you needed him to. Is he like Surreal Cox? Can he play those different positions? No, he can't. He just is too big for it. He's not built like that. But this guy, he's a solid tackler, and he's fast. And I think this could be a really good pick if he can develop into what he was.
I mean, I see what you're coming from. I feel like you could have traded back and gotten some more with Tajay Gaddy. I don't think he was that high on people's draft board. So that's my problem with the pick. You could have traded back, got some more value with Tajay Gaddy, and been perfectly fine. But hey, obviously they went with him now because they really want him. I hope it pays out for him, or not really because I'm the Red Wolves owner. But I hope things just go well for that pick. I think they could have done more though.
Okay, so the defenders are on the clock right now, and who do you think they go with here? You know, they went with Miles McCain, first overall pick, first round. You know, do you think they try to get some weapons for him, or do you think they go switch to the defensive side since they do actually have another 2 picks? They got this pick now and another pick coming up. So do you think they go for offense or defense here?
I mean, if you get the number 1 quarterback, I mean, your best decision with number 4 is probably get the best wide receiver, which would probably be either Rock Lee, former high school and college teammate of Miles McCain, or you get former college teammate McCain, Jet Harrison. I mean, either one of those two is it's a fine pick there.
I don't know. If you get the best quarterback, I think that should give you space to get a defender, and you could get a D-Ice like we were talking about earlier, or a Bon Kui. Like we haven't talked about him, but I think that he would also be a valuable pick, or Dante Bongani. I feel like if you get the best quarterback, you don't necessarily need to get a wide receiver or a target for that quarterback. That quarterback should give you that security to go and get a defender or something, or maybe even a running back in Cairo.
I mean, well, I don't think they're taking running back here because they have one of the best running backs in the series, an X Factor 25-year-old. So I don't think that's going to be the pick. Yeah, Stanley Smith. So I don't think that's going to be the pick. Looking at the roster, they only have 2 wide receivers on roster. That's something to monitor there. But like you said, defense is a thing. And I think if they went defense here, it'd be defensive line. I think they want to beef that up. They're pretty weak there. They're also weak in the secondary at cornerback. So you could look at maybe Numa here or possibly another player, Iron Galactic, something like that. You know,
Smokey
a player
Lockhart.
that can come and Smokey Lockhart. That's great.
Smokey Lockhart.
So if they go defense, I'd look at those positions. But if they go anywhere on offense, I feel like it has to be at receiver because, like I said, they only have 2 on roster, and usually rosters run 6 deep.
I don't want to cut you off here, but the pick is in. Defenders have actually set their pick in, and we will go down to the Commissioner Pros. With the 5th pick of the first round for the first ever GCL Pro Draft, the defenders choose Rock Lee, University of Texas A&M, wide receiver. And I feel like that was nice. That was a good pick here. You know, keep that connection from high school to college to even in the pros.
I can't.
Yeah.
I'm mad at that.
You're mad at that? Go ahead, Tank. I'll go after you.
Oh no, I said I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad.
Oh, you're not mad at that.
I'm not mad.
I just want to say one thing.
Okay.
Yo, I am sick and tired of seeing Miles McCain throw the ball to Rock Lee. Great pick by the defenders, but I am sick and tired of watching a McCain Lee connection. I watched it
now.
all
I got a
school.
question for you, Numa.
What's up?
If the defenders didn't choose Rock Lee and Rock Lee went somewhere else, do you think Miles McCain would still be the best quarterback like they ever got?
I mean, yeah, he's Miles McCain. He's the best. I'm not saying he made his name off of Rock Lee, but I'm just saying he's the best quarterback. I mean, like I think he does well with whatever receiver gets picked here if the defenders go receiver. But I'm just sick of seeing Rock Lee and Miles McCain.
Hey, the Lobsters is on the clock. Just letting you know, Lobsters.
I think the pick is perfect. You got a young quarterback coming in. You want him to be comfortable in this offense. It's going to be a new scheme, new offense, new playbook. Everything is different. Different speed at the next level, and you want him to be comfortable. What do? You go get his best friend from high school. In college, they played with each other. So this chemistry is going to be coming into the pros. Yeah, they're going to learn together, and it's going to be different. But the fact is they're both going to be comfortable with each other, on the same page, knows what each other like to do. And I think as a rookie, starting for your franchise, we're assuming, I think that's going to be the best thing that they could have done right there, honestly.
I feel you that. So the Lobsters pick is in. The Lobsters pick is in. So we're going to go down, take it down to the GCL Pro Commission. With the 6th pick of the first round for the GCL first ever pro draft, the Lobsters select Christopher Numa, cornerback for Cincinnati.
Oh that is God, the 6th best pick in the draft.
6th pick. Holy cow.
Did they really just draft a... You could have gotten D-Ice. You could have gotten D-Ice, and you went
Yo, so you telling me... Hold on. So you telling me the Lobsters passed up on Cairo, Cardin, Sydney, D-Ice, Jacoria Johnson.
This is where I stand with this. Listen.
Tomlin Juice, Jet Harrison.
Numa was overshadowed because he was on a bad team. Not a lot of eyes turned there. That roster was not good at Cincinnati. You cannot judge his play off the failures of everyone else around him. I think this is a solid pick, honestly. I think Numa could ball out here. And you could say, yeah, they could have got D-Ice. D-Ice didn't play half a season because of his choices. I think that hurts his draft stock. You could say, yeah, he's a top 10 talent, but he's going to fall out of the top 10 in my opinion because of that.
He didn't play what? He didn't play what? 3 weeks?
3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks is a lot in a 6-week season.
I heavily disagree for this reason, Miles. It's because of the fact that, like I said earlier, Numa did nothing to pop off your screen.
And he's 5'9".
Him that high, even if he's on a terrible team. We've seen players on terrible teams still pop off the screen. And Numa did not do that. You can get him later on and trade back and get some value.
You have to realize.
I'll be honest.
Numa is extremely undersized. He is a 5'9" corner coming into the pros against the 6'3", 6'4" wide receivers.
Heart over height.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Tim Jennings. Tim Jennings was a short corner and he was amazing.
I get that, but coming into this, he didn't really do nothing. He was a beast, though. Numa hasn't really showed nothing.
I talked with the Lobsters coach before the draft, and I vouch actually for Numa to be this pick because I see the talent. Like I said, you cannot judge him and say, oh, he didn't pop up the screen. Well, he played on Cincinnati. And, like, if there was any defensive player that was good on that team other than maybe Bryant on the line, like, it was him. So
I hope he has a 55-inch vertical because he's going to have a hard time competing against these 6'3", 6'5" wide receivers, especially with the 6'8" receiver, Jacquizz Alexander, coming out shortly. All right. Who's next?
He's not going to have a problem because they're going to be locked up by him.
I feel you on that. Well, the Brawlers is the pick is in for the Brawlers. And before we actually announce this, who y'all think they will go with?
Brawlers. Man, I don't even know what the Brawlers rosters look like, but I'd say it's the first ever draft. I say you kind of take the best players available. You still, like I said, you still got Cartier Sidney up there. You got Cairo Wobe up there. Quarterback wise, you still got Tyler Bloongren with an amazing story. And the heart and determination in this kid. Yeah, the heart and determination in this kid. There's a lot of options you still have up there to go.
I think if you go quarterback, it has to be either Bloongren or Trey King from Miami.
Yeah, Trey King. I got Kalen over Trey King. I apologize.
We'll get to that. All right, let's take it down to the commission. Let's take it down to the commission real quick. With the 7th pick of the first round of the first ever GCL Pro Draft, the Brawlers select Tyler Bloongren, quarterback from LSU. I feel like this is really a solid pick here. Solid pick.
Man.
This is really a solid pick here. You know, he really he shows talent. He shows cons. He's like a balanced quarterback. I really feel like he can really do good coming in.
Can I just speak on Tyler's story real quick? Because I love Tyler's story.
I will be right back. But yes,
this is the kid. This is the kid who played for Modern Day out in California, and didn't even start. He wasn't even the starter quarterback for this team. And once again, another shortened season for season 1 high school. He only played like 4 or 5 games, and was a backup. And played really kind of average. You know, didn't really pop off the screen or anything like Miles did or like Trey King did in high school. But you know, got a spot on LSU. I think one of a few offers he gotten, and then just balled out fantastically. Where we thought, you know, with Cairo Wobe, you know, being the guy out there, that you know, there was going to be a really run heavy, but you know, Coach DJ out there really believed in this kid, and you know, he showed out his real talents out there in Louisiana and became, you know, a top 10 pick in the draft. I can't wait to see what he does out here in the pros.
Yeah, I'm shocked that he got drafted before Cairo, D Ice, Bongani. He's a great system quarterback, and Brawlers probably really do need a quarterback. But it's just shocking. It's just mentally shocking for me to see that Tyler Bloongren got drafted before Cairo, the team that the player that the offense was built around, and also D Ice and Bongani.
You know, I mean, you could say, yeah, it's surprising to get drafted before Cairo. Cairo on my board is the 3rd best running back. Like, you got Cartier
Who's
Sydney.
second?
Matt Roper, Texas A&M.
Matt Roper,
second leading rusher in the league.
Second
leading rusher in the league.
I mean,
even with Miles
it's
McCain.
easy
So
to
what
do
does
that
that
when
speak
you
to?
have the Miles McCain at quarterback. Teams can't focus on the run at that point. But teams, when they go up against LSU, they box up Cairo.
Exactly, but Ty can still throw for 350. So
I mean,
that's why Ty got drafted here.
Yeah, I don't want to cut you guys off. But the pick is in for the Defenders.
Okay.
Defenders
the Defenders got another pick.
Defenders.
Okay.
Yep. Let's take it down to the proclamation. For the 8th pick of the first round of the GCL first ever pro draft, the Defenders choose Jaquil Johnson, wide receiver from Wake Forest.
What the frick?
The Defenders
That is-
over here trying to do.
That
The
is
Defenders-
the leading statistical receiver in the college series.
The Defenders are trying to
one more time.
The
I feel
Defenders
like,
are
but
trying
I
to
feel like
build
this.
the best passing offense, bro.
I feel like
They
you
want
could
the best passing offense.
went with Jet Harrison here.
That's
I feel
what I'm
like
saying.
because you have to realize if you get Brock Lee his teammate, you might as well get Jet Harrison, who's also his teammate.
Wait, hold on. Do you know who Jaquil Johnson is? Do you know who this is?
No.
Yeah, but they don't have no chemistry.
Then you don't know. Then you don't know.
And you don't know.
Because this guy right here single-handedly carried Wake Forest's offense the entire season. Single-handedly.
Yeah, and you go, like I said, statistically standpoint from it, he put up better numbers than Rock Lee and Jet Harrison. And that's with a whole generic roster. Other than maybe a couple players. But most of them were defense, other than their running back, Clayton Zeno.
Yeah, I definitely would pick a CPU wide receiver before I pick a user wide receiver who's extremely active and already has a rapport with the quarterback you drafted with the first overall pick and with the wide receiver you drafted with the 5th overall pick. That's
glad you agree with
a grade A pick.
That's why you're not a coach.
I guess that's why.
That's why you're not a coach.
All right, the Kaju's pick is in. The Kaju pick is in. So I'm taking it down to the commission. With the pick 9 of the first round of the first ever GCL Pro Draft, the Kaju select Cartier Sydney. He's not on here, but Cartier Sydney. How y'all feel about that?
Best running back in the league.
Come on, get out of my fucking
I question your opinions now. Ever since you said that you would draft a wide receiver that's a CPU before Jet Harrison. But go ahead.
Hey,
go ahead.
We're on the next pick, bud. Move on.
The best
You're right. You're right.
Like Miles said about Johnson here, the best statistical running back in the nation. Just outran Cairo Wobe, outran Matt Roper, outran AJ Harris, outran Clayton Zeno, just outran everybody. I'm surprised he dropped this low all the way down to 9, but still good to see that he's still a high draft pick.
That's good.
Personally, I would have waited. You can get a good running back. You don't really need that high caliber
Weren't you
for
just
running back.
saying you wanted Cairo to be picked sooner, but now you're saying the best running back they should have waited? Make up your mind.
I need to make up my mind.
Yeah, let's make it up.
I didn't think Tyler Bloongren was going to be picked this early.
But you said Cairo should have been picked the pick before or 2 picks before. So what's the deal? Now that it's not Cairo, I don't get it.
Nobody pull up the clip. If the clip's not found, then basically it wasn't said. All right. Let's move on to the next pick. Who's next on the clock?
Road Runners is next on the clock, and I'm trying to get this down.
Hey,
oh my gosh, it's playing by itself.
We got
technical difficulties. I didn't think it was gonna go like this, bro. Hey man, it's first time, you feel me? Oh, that's why I did that. Okay.
Yeah, we'll get it right. We'll get it
right. Hold on, let me.
But in terms of the Road Runners, who they should pick next. I mean, like I said, it's the first ever draft. I say you go best available. Like you said, you still got Kalen Wright up there at quarterback. You can start your French off right with a nice quarterback. You got Jet Harrison still up there. There goes Cartier Sidney, looking nice in the Mississippi State colors. You got a whole bunch of players still up there.
All right, the pick is in. Didn't mean to cut you off, but the pick is in while we had technical difficulties.
All right.
So let's take it down to the GCL Pro. With the 10th pick of the first round of the first ever GCL Pro Draft, the Roadrunners select Jet Harrison, University of Texas A&M.
That's the best player on the board, so that makes sense.
That's the best player on the board for a long time. Thank God. Woo-wee, man. You really drafted a CP wide receiver. Let's see how that plays out for Miles.
Man, that man tank, bro. I'm just glad, Miles. What you think about that? That's it. Just the best player up there.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I played with him in college. He's an amazing player. He's good size. I mean, he's a red zone target that you want. I mean, in college, he didn't really have that burner speed like Rock Lee, obviously, as you saw him make more of those bigger plays. But as for possession and that catching ability and radius, he brings it all to it. I mean, he's a solid number 1 receiver. He's the Z when you get into an offense. And like I said, you're in the red zone. You got a jump ball. Who you going to? You're going to Jet.
Yeah, I mean, he does have that prototypical wide receiver size. There he is up on the board there, rocking the Texas A&M uniforms. But yeah, I mean, solid pick here for the Roadrunners. Also, not a bad pick, stating that don't they have like a 40-year-old quarterback?
Yeah,
something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think that quarterback is like
he's an age for
old.
sure.
So, yeah,
no, that's not them. That's not them.
No, it's not. Okay.
That's the people who pick next.
Ah, okay.
The Hawks is on the clock, by the way.
The Hawks have a 40-year-old quarterback. Okay.
So who do you think do you think they go quarterback with the next pick, since they do have a 41-year-old to be exact quarterback?
If you have a 40-year-old quarterback, I think you draft a quarterback with the 11th pick here. Like Miles said, you still got Trey King on the board. You got Kalen Wright on the board. You got who you want? You still got
Kalen Diaz.
Yeah,
Kalen Dog Trash. You said
Kalen Dog Trash.
Kalen Diaz.
Oh,
you got Kalen Diaz.
Sorry, it slipped up. I must have heard it wrong. Statistically, again speaking, Trey King is the second best quarterback by statistics in this draft.
Numbers.
Hey, numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie.
They don't.
The pick is in.
Who Trey King was thrown to, I think that to be the smart pick.
The Hawks pick is in. So let's take it down to the commission. So, with the 11th pick of the first round of the first ever GCL Pro Draft, the Hawks select Tomlin Juicer, DN from Cincinnati.
Hey,
that's a very solid pick.
I feel like that's a solid pick, but I feel like they should have went quarterback here, because you do have a 41-year-old quarterback. So you gonna really try to? I don't know.
I mean, maybe he wanted to. Maybe he didn't like the quarterbacks that were in this draft. Wanted to wait out and see what he can get next year. With a 40-year-old quarterback, the talent has to have declined over the years. First of all, I don't even know where you get a 40-year-old quarterback. He must have been somebody's mailman. So they might not even have a good season here.
Colin Kaepernick, question mark.
If I would have took defensive line here, I would have probably went with Storm from Georgia, or Locke.
Big dude. Storm is big.
But I don't think it's a bad pick at all. We had to see D-line go at some point in the draft, and I mean, this could be a really good pick, a good interior, or he's an end actually. So good edge rusher if he develops right and you get him in the right scheme. But we'll just have to see.
I think it's important to have these are the two most important positions in football. Someone that can pass the football and someone that can disrupt the guy that passes the football. And that's what you get with defensive end. And Tomlin Juicer, I think, is a good pick for the Hawks for sure.
So right now we have the Red Wolves on the clock. So owner, tell the speakers a little bit through. Who do y'all think of taking here?
I think I'm gonna let the commissioner go ahead and announce that, but I am shocked that Cairo is still on the board. You still have.
I don't mean to cut you off, but the pick is in. The pick is in.
Okay then.
Yo, what?
So let's take it down to the commissioner. With the 12th pick of the first round of the first ever GCL Pro Draft, the Red Wolves selects D-Ice safety from LSU. Man, I feel like, this man right here should have went way further up into the draft, man. He should have been a top 5 way before Numa, way before Miles, way before everybody, before Sidney, way before anybody in this draft. This man should have been number 1, bro. I don't care. Hold on. Let me speak. I'll let y'all speak. Let me speak. I feel like even though through the suspensions that he had because he changed teams because of a disruptive quarterback, that was talking, I feel like it was just a better choice that they should have went with him. You feel me? Like,
yeah. We're too
great pick.
And I decided to leave. So here's where I'm at. I made this pick. Why did I make this pick at this point? Okay, so we look at it. Red flags for Ice coming out. He abandoned ships fast. Whether it's this player or his high school player or any other league. He likes to switch teams. He likes to leave. Okay? Red flag, he abandoned his team not even 2 games in the season. Got suspended for 3 games. Okay. So there you are out 3 weeks in a 6-week game season. As soon as he comes back, his team starts losing. Kind of weird. They went 1-3 or 1-2 with him in. That might just be karma. I don't know. But the player overall was good talent. He's athletic. Maybe he could have gone higher. He probably would have if he played a full season. But those are red flags, and I think anyone looking at it was concerned about that. And I know I talked to a couple other coaches that were concerned that he'd pull something like this in the pro level. But talking with Tank and me, going through this recruiting process, I think we just found, the talent there was good. And at this point of the draft, if he was there, the value of it is far better than anyone else there. As for his reason for leaving Texas A&M, I don't know. As he said, it wasn't anyone; it was a personal reason. So, but I think that hurt his draft stock overall.
I also think that me and Miles can, for once on this draft call, can agree that I'm definitely picking Miles McCain before I draft D-Ice. But hey, we got him at 12. The Red Wolves got him at 12.
No, I just want to say one thing.
I'm happy that we got him.
I just want to say one thing though. You missed half the season. What did you think was going to happen? You missed half the season. You're right. You're right. You should have been picked over me. You should have been picked over a lot of people. You missed the season.
Yeah, like I said, I made the call on the draft.
You have to realize,
Tank and I did.
Look, you have to realize. Look.
And I'm gonna be real. You shouldn't have gone sooner.
Let's take an IRL real quick. You feel me? Derek Stingley missed a whole year and got picked 4. for DIs, he missed half the season. He should have at least got picked, one.
Who
you
missed
feel
the
me?
whole year? Who missed the whole year?
Derek Stingley Jr.
Well, yeah, but that's real life. This isn't real life. This is a sim league.
Oh, we're
I need
talking
to
about
see
real
you
life.
play. We're talking about we're talking about sim league. I need to see you to play in order to value you. Numbers don't lie.
And second on that, we actually saw him at least play, didn't we? We saw Stingley at least play some college games. Just like Micah Parsons, we saw him play at least some college games.
Yeah.
So we had some film. We only had half the season of film.
4 weeks off, and then you.
The Strikers pick is in. I didn't mean to cut y'all off, but the Strikers pick is in.
Oh, okay. We know you didn't mean to.
Salty ass.
Let's go down to the commit. Are you speaking of commission? Let's go down to the commission before certain things happen.
Is Ty here?
Before certain things go down.
Oh,
the duck peg fines, fines do exist. So,
fine me
with pick.
Hey, hold up now. That's coming out my bank account.
That's why he said it.
You sure about that? You want to reiterate what you just said?
Damn,
it lessens your contract.
I just missed my pick or what? What I had at number 7?
Yeah, we're filming the draft right now, bro.
No, I see it's number. What is this shit? 12.
Yeah, we're in the middle of filming the draft, so you're kind of cutting in. You're going to be in the auto recording.
Oh man, so what, they gonna get mad at me?
Well, I mean, you're on live right now, so say hi. We got high school commissioner Jet in here.
I'll just bow out gracefully. Have fun, folks.
Man, it was just it's nice to have Jet in here. Going pick, pick that. Pick 10, doing very good. But back to the regular program. The Strikers pick 13. Let's let the commission handle it. With the 13th pick of the first round of the first ever GCL Pro Draft, the Strikers select Kalen Diaz, quarterback from Clemson. And see, now I'm gonna make my thoughts on here. I'm gonna say 2 words. Hot garbage. See, like I don't. This wasn't a good pick at all,
bro. I know I wasn't the biggest fan of Canton Reeves, right? But we have to put respect on his name in college. He played really, really well in college. He was one of the few quarterbacks.
I wouldn't say really, really.
He was one of the few quarterbacks to throw 4 touchdowns. He threw 4 touchdowns in week 1. 4 of them things.
What did he do after?
Who else threw 4 touchdowns? He threw 3 touchdowns the next game.
And how many picks? Let's go over the picks.
In the second game, he only threw 1 interception. He threw 4 touchdowns.
Week 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right, relax. Like, there's no need to bring up all that other nonsense. Relax.
This is vital information.
I think Trey King was the third best quarterback. Like I said, Ty, I guess you could switch him out. I had Diaz ranked 5. He wasn't ahead of Kalen Wright. I mean, you could even say Miles Minter even played better. I don't think Kalen Diaz lived up to the hype. Yes, I will give you this. He played way better than he did in high school.
The hype
he played way better. The hype that Tank builds up for him. But he
played
way better.
Money week 1.
He played way better in college than he did in high school. Yes. He transformed his game. He wasn't a run-first quarterback. He looked to throw, but he still struggled. He was throwing picks. He was fumbling the ball. I mean, Clemson has a good roster, good base roster. And the fact that they didn't win more with that roster kind of falls on him and his turnovers. That's why I ranked him so low. But yes, I do see the jump and get what you were saying by that. I'm not saying that he's going to be a bad quarterback in the pros or anything, but I wouldn't have made this pick here.
I feel you on that, Tank.
Come on, Tank.
Oh, you guys was okay. So I highly disagree with Miles' top 5 quarterbacks. Kalen Diaz is definitely higher than Kalen Wright.
I don't know. One made a national championship in the playoffs, and the other one didn't.
I don't know. One got carried by his defense, and the other one actually carried the entire team.
That's weird, because last time I checked, Kalen Wright beat LSU on his arm. So
did Kalen Wright
fact
beat
check
LSU when he
Maybe
only
you should
scored
fact
2
check
touchdowns,
it, right?
or was it the defense?
Well, I mean, when there was only 2 touchdowns scored, yeah, he did.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then he took a safety, right, instead of throwing it out of bounds.
Oh yeah, but I forgot 1 minute's national championship and 1 through 3 picks a game. So yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Don't get me started on Kalen's performances. He's definitely thrown 3 picks, especially the performance of Georgia versus Florida.
Oh, you're talking
Georgia
about
versus
Wright,
Florida
Kalen
game.
Diaz.
Let's talk
have the
about
same
that Georgia
name.
versus Florida game. That was a bad game for Kalen Diaz. I mean, not Kalen Diaz, for Kalen Wright.
Yeah, you're right. It was a bad game because everyone has bad games. But Kalen Diaz had bad games every week.
Kalen Diaz can't have 1 or 2.
Yeah, but he had like 4 or 5. So yeah,
he had 2 bad games.
There's a reason why he has
average games and then great
trash.
games.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say this here. I'm gonna say this real quick. Sorry, we don't have an edit for the 14th pick, because I'm gonna go ahead and say it, and then y'all can get back to your argument. With the 14th pick of the first round ever GCL Draft, Pro Draft, the night I will select Jacob Levert. All right, back to your conversation. Mystics, you on the clock.
Jacob Levert, tight end, Cincinnati.
Yep. Tight end from Cincinnati, yes, sir.
You drafted a tight end in the first round?
Yep. That's a good pick.
I mean, it's a solid pick.
Oh my gosh, Miles, don't be this delusional this entire draft, man.
What do you mean?
Nah,
you drafted a tight end?
I didn't draft a tight end, but
Night Owls. The Night Owls.
You think the Night Owls drafting the tight end is a good pick in the first round?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
have you seen him play?
He's the second leading statistical leader in receiving yards this season, ain't he?
Did you watch him play?
He actually is.
Oh my god.
I didn't bring that one up. I just did you watch him play?
He actually is one of the top statistical rated tight ends in the nation. And
you're telling me you're at pick 14 and George Kittle's there, you're not taking him? Travis Kelce? This guy could be that.
So can we put some flex bucks or
No, we going too far. Hold on, time out. This is where I draw the line. No, we are going too far. Off topic. Get back to the conversation,
too, bro.
Bro, Jacob Levert is like 6'6", 223, bro. Like 227.
He's a freak. It's a great pick.
Bro, what do you mean? That's a terrific pick, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, guys. The Mystics picks is in. Mystics pick is in. So let's go ahead and go down to the GCL Pros app. With the 15th pick of the first round of the first ever GCL Pro Draft, the Mystics select Cameron Chase, wide receiver from Alabama. How y'all feel about this? I'm really all at it.
Tell me his stats, Miles. Tell me the stats on his CPU.
No, hold on. No, that's not
CPU. He's a user.
First of all,
that's a terrible user. That's a terrible user. I would rather get Richard Grooms.
Facts. No, that's a fact.
That's what I'm saying. This isn't a good pick.
That's a fact.
Here.
I think no.
You think this is a good pick here, Noah?
Oh, I'm telling you this right now.
Apparently, we're losing our mind later in the draft.
No, it's one of those. Apparently. It's just like the Tajay Gaddy pick. Right person, wrong pick. But I would not say I'm taking Richard Grooms over Cameron Chase. Go back and go watch some Alabama games.
I don't know. You gotta give Grooms the benefit of the doubt. He had dog trash thrown to him.
That's true.
Oh my God! No,
that is true.
Let's not go back to this debate. I'm trying to move on to give you a better thing.
No, but if you're saying that, how come Francisco Ladson didn't had a good season? That's what I'm saying. So no, I think Cameron Chase is a better wide receiver than Richard Grooms. Like I said, right player, wrong pick. He has good hands, good size. He's a good route runner. Better all those things he has better than Richard Grooms. Richard Grooms, I think his best game he had like 50 yards. Cameron Chase had a game where he had like 80, 90 yards. He's okay. The only knock you can have on Chase is he hasn't had like a really crazy breakout game. But that's because he's not a really crazy breakout type of wide receiver.
I get what you're saying, and I feel that like right pick, wrong time. But like I said, we need to get off that because like he was picked here, and it is the wrong time. So it is an L. This is not a good pick. Like, yeah, he could be the good player if he was picked later. Like, oh yeah, that was a great pick at this time, but it's not that time. So this is a bad pick right now.
What other wide receivers are up on the board that you would take?
I wouldn't draft a wide receiver right now. I'd be looking at the defenders. Think of how many good defenders are out there right now.
I mean, we don't know the needs of Orlando. We don't know what's going through Orlando's coach's mind. But I'm just saying,
there's two great running backs on the board.
Maybe they don't need a running back.
I'm just saying, there's Trey King out
there.
there.
You got Bonquiqui, Cairo.
Yeah, Bonquiqui, Smokey Lockhart, Storm, Locke.
Yeah.
Boone Carter.
Nope. No.
Surreal Cox.
Hard miss.
No, that was super miss.
All right, so the pick is in for the Volcanoes. They have 2 back-to-back picks. So I'm gonna take it out to Commish so he can end round 1 off.
Okay.
With the 16th pick of the first round of the first ever GCL Pro Draft, the Volcanoes select Cairo Wobaby, running back from LSU. This concludes round 1.
I like Cairo for the Volcanoes. I think he's going to have a really good impact for him. I wish he would have fell to the Red Wolves in the second round, but okay.
The question is this. The question is this though. How do you feel? Why did he fall so much to the 16th in the first place?
I was just about to say that. You had chances to get him. Why didn't you get him if you love him so much?
He loved him so much.
Because that wasn't the biggest need for the team.
That's fact.
So we did not get a running back. We was more focused on defense. So we focused on that in the first round. And as far as why he dropped so low, from what I've heard, it was bad interviews that went on between him and other coaches.
I heard it was his ego.
And that's part of the interviews. I just try to make it sound more professional.
I think you just look at it. He is a great player, but he struggled. Like there was times he struggled, and that LSU offensive line was 93 plus all across the board. So you can't blame it on the line. You're looking at the running back. I mean, he struggled at times. I'm not saying he's a bad player, and this is a really good pick for the spot that they're at. I mean,
right.
If we were going statistically, I know Tank's going to be like, oh, whatever. Like Roper was better than him, but he is a user player. He's going to build his FB. He's going to be able to upgrade. Like you said, some personal issues kind of made him drop, I think. And personally for us, we did like Cairo at the right spot, and those spots weren't it. If we liked a running back a lot, and if he would have landed at 12, we would have got him. But Cardia Sydney got picked before us, so that's why we didn't go there with that. We didn't go running back.
Okay, so the Volcano's second pick to start off round 2 is in, so we're going to take it out to the commission real quick. Okay. With the pick 17th for round 2, start of round 2, for the first ever GCL Pro Draft, the Volcanoes select Jalen Brooks, cornerback for Texas A&M.
Toast, baby!
Mr. Toast himself.
Mr. Toast himself.
Not a bad pick. It's an average pick.
Diggs.
Yeah, Treylon. Literally, that's it. He's Diggs. That's it. Like, the dude will tackle. The dude can run. He'll run. He'll tackle. Do all this. But he will give up yards. He'll get those picks, those random picks. He'll jump routes. He'll get them. He'll make sure you get your turnovers. But he's going to let go of 150 yards. Like I said, it's not a bad pick. It's an average pick. That's the only way I can say it.
I feel you on that.
Yeah, I agree with Miles with this one, man. That's Mr. Burnt Toast himself. He's gonna keep a receiver in front of him to make a tackle. He's gonna jump a route once, twice, maybe 4 times a game. But if you leave him on an island, it's free pickings, bro. It's free pickings.
Well, the Airman pick is in, and we're gonna go ahead and go down because you know me, Numa. I don't like talking about garbage for long.
Mish.
With the 18th pick of round 2 for the first ever GCL Pro Draft, the Airman selects Richard Grooms, wide receiver from Clemson. How y'all feel about this, man?
Bad pick. I think that's a bad pick, man.
I think it should have been done later, not now.
Yeah, Richard Grooms isn't a second round talent at all, man. He really struggled this season getting off of defenders. Really struggled. His route running wasn't crisp at all. I don't know. I don't think he's pro ready, honestly.
I think a lot of these picks in the second round are just going to fall in development. That's all I had to say about this pick. Go ahead, Tink.
I agree. I think it really comes down to who do what positions do they need. They probably really did need a receiver, and I know you said he doesn't create that much separation, Numa, but do any receivers at this point in the draft create any separation outside of at this point in the draft?
A couple of them.
Left.
Yes. You still have Surreal Mock from Georgia, who's up there, who
Surreal Mock
burned people over the
Surreal
top.
Mock.
My bad. Surreal Cox. You still got
AJ Harris.
AJ Harris, who's just all speed out there in Florida State.
That is true. You do have AJ Harris.
You have people out there who proven to run the route better than Grooms, catch the ball better than Grooms, and get separation from defenders than Grooms. But I mean, let's see what Coach Dre and Atlanta Airmen do here. Maybe he has something planned. Maybe there's something he had to like in Grooms for him to pick Grooms.
So the Night Owls pick is in. The Night Owls pick is in. So we're gonna go ahead and take it down to them, to the commission. With the 19th pick of round 2 of the first ever GCL Pro Draft, the Night Owls select Malik Justice, University of Auburn.
I just puked in my mouth.
Okay, thank God. I was about to say, Miles, don't say no statistical crap. He's better than so many players that are still. You still got Trey King on the draft board.
Exactly. So I guess the Night Owls had a stroke making this pick. Not a stroke of good luck, but a stroke.
Whatever they're out there.
He even got Caleb Wright.
Whatever they're smoking out in St. Louis, I need some of that, bro. Because I don't know why you take. I don't know why you take Malik Justice, somebody who went 0-6 in the regular season, couldn't win a game, and to my knowledge, I don't even think he's ever led his team to a lead in any game.
Oh my God.
I don't know why.
Fun doing this.
Trey King, Kalen Wright, Miles Minter, all better than this pick. Matt Roper's still out there. You got tight ends RJ Bennett from Florida. He's out there. You got Whitemeyer from A&M. I mean, you got Smokey Lockhart, Bonkiki. There's players out there that are vastly way better than this pick.
I would get Spencer Fields before I get Malik Justice.
I would get I would get Sanchez before I got him.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
No,
I would get Bohanon. I'll get Bohanon before him.
Yeah, good thing he's not in the draft for 1 and 2. Did you just say you wouldn't take Sanchez over Justice?
Yeah, he's smoking.
Yeah, smoking.
All right, the Red Wolves pick is in. The Red Wolves pick is in. Let's take it down to the commission.
Let's go.
With the 20th pick of the round 2 of the first ever GCL Pro Draft, the Red Wolves select Bonkiki from strong safety from LSU. I feel like this was a good pick here. Getting more help with D-Ice on the other side of the draft, of the other side of the field. You know what I mean? And I really feel like this was really good. You know what I mean? Rebels, what are you thinking here?
To us, you want to go first, Tank, for me?
Oh, go ahead, Miles.
Breaking news. Stop real quick. Stop real quick. Didn't mean to cut you off, but we just have breaking news. I'm going to have to ask y'all this again. We just have breaking news that the Red Wolves and the Airmen traded. The Airmen now receives Bonkiki instead of the Red Wolves, and the Red Wolves gets the Airmen next year's first round pick, next year's second round pick, and a 79 overall superstar at the end. What are you thinking here, giving up Bonkiki now?
All right. Well, first off, he's an 80 overall. Second, for the value of Bonkiki, where we got him at. Okay, so basically we gave up a second round 20th overall pick for a first next year, which we gave away our first next year in a trade to move up to number 3 to get Mock. So we regain a first round pick and we get 2 second round picks, which is going to help. And then on top of that, we get a 23-year-old 80 overall and superstar dev, which would have been more dev than Bonkiki got at this point. I mean, we hauled in a lot here, and I have to credit Tank on this. He worked on this trade. I was in the talks too, but this was mostly his doing right here. I mean, he got absolutely the best possible trade we could get for our team and our future heading forward.
Okay. Well, now the strikers are on the clock. Again, we don't have an edit for them. Sorry about that. You're not good enough. Um, so let's take it down to the commission. With the 21st pick of round 2 of the first ever GCL Pro Draft, the strikers select J.D. Dixon, running back from Clemson.
Huh?
What?
Huh? You have Matt Wright on the board, the second best statistical running back in NCAA, and you get the guy from Clemson that didn't even make it to the college football playoffs.
You hate to see it. Kaju's on the clock.
You gotta love to see it for me.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, man. JD Dixon. I mean, he's a burner. I mean, you got that about him. He's really fast, but not second round talent. Yeah, not second
skipped on the best story in college football.
Well, it seemed like the Kaju knew what they was going here with the next pick because the pick is in.
All right,
let's take it down to commission. With the 22nd pick of round 2 of the first ever GCL Pro Draft, the Kaiju selects Smokey Lockhart, cornerback from FSU.
Great pick.
That's a lockdown corner right there. That's who probably should have been the first corner taken in the draft. Smokey Lockhart, phenomenal player, phenomenal.
And that has to be a lot of confidence for Numa, Christopher Numa, because I mean, when you think about it, Christopher Numa is the first cornerback taken off the board, and then not another corner is taken off the board until this later part or mid part of the second round. Hey, the expectations on Christopher Numa are high, and honestly, I want to see where he goes from here. Yeah, but I do like this pick up Smokey Lockhart.
Yeah, I mean, Smokey Lockhart getting picked here. This is an absolute steal for the Kaiju. Like I said, yeah, he has the size, has the speed, and if you don't know who Smokey Lockhart is, you don't watch Florida State football because he is without a doubt, in my opinion, the number 1 corner in this draft. To see him get taken in the second round this late is kind of shocking to me.
Okay, the Roadrunners pick is in. Let's take it down to the commission. With the 23rd pick of the round 2 of the first ever GCL Pro Draft, the Roadrunners select Trey King, quarterback from Miami.
Hallelujah!
Finally,
yes, I love that pick. I love that pick.
This is another good pick.
Yeah. You know what, Miles? This is your guy. You got to talk about him.
Trey was the heart of Miami football. Miami was trash everywhere. Trey King led that team. You watch the game versus A&M. Maybe his statistics weren't the best, but Numa and I commentated that game against the number 1 team in the nation. He went toe to toe with them, and he carried that team, even showing his mobility in times in that game. You know, shrugging off defenders and stuff like this. I think at the time he had like 10 touchdowns to 3 interceptions or something like that. And he's just, the dude's a baller. And I don't think he got enough credit that he deserved. And I think it was because where he was at and he wasn't getting the spotlight like some of these other people who, you know, were top-ranked teams. And that just happens sometimes. You get lost. But I think this is a steal pick for the Roadrunners. I think this is going to work out great for them. And you pair up another high school connection with Jet Harrison and Trey King, who played at Westlake together.
You know, you guys know me, like in the community, I'm quick to let somebody know if they're a backpack or not. The story here with Trey King, the beef here with me and Trey King was coming out of high school. I didn't think Trey King was that good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought Trey King was being carried by Jet. I didn't think his ball placement was really good. Didn't think he had the arm talent. Didn't think he had the accuracy. Went to University of Miami and just absolutely became Dora the Explorer. He packed all of University of Miami in a backpack and just walked around the nation, dropping dimes with everybody on his back. That game against Texas A&M, going toe to toe with Miles McCain, was probably one of the best games I commentated all year.
Exactly, and that's what. Go ahead, finish what you were saying. I'll say after.
And nearly came out with the victory.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like his statistics in that game weren't great. Like, you know, A&M didn't turn over the ball. They didn't do anything like that really. But or maybe they did. I don't remember too well, but the fact is like his statistics weren't amazing. But like, so if you looked at it on paper, you'd be like, "Oh, that wasn't a great game." But if you watched it, a completely different story.
Yeah.
You just had to be there, and that's some of these players like that we're going to get to is like their statistics might not say it, but if you watch the games, you'll see the talent and why they're picked where they are.
That's why it's important to watch these games. High school, college, you gotta watch these games so you can know what talent you're getting.
Facts.
Okay, everybody. Let's move on to the next pick. My bad. I was just, handling something real quick. Unfortunately, you hate to see it that one of the high school players are getting suspended soon. So, you hate to see it. But it is what it is. So, all right, moving on with the next pick. Let's take it down to Commish. With the 24th pick of the round 2 of the first ever GCL Pro Draft, the Airmen select Andrew Mcguire, cornerback from Miami. How y'all feel about this?
This is a very mid pick. Very mid.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure I know what you're about to say because I feel like I'm about to say it as well. I'm not upset about this pick. I'm not also happy about this pick. I guess that means this is where he was supposed to go. I don't really know much. Mcguire, he's a solid corner, not a franchise-changing corner. Yeah, it's a decent pick in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's very, like you said, it's very mid. Nothing crazy. It's a second round pick. Like it's just that second round pick that everyone's like, okay, they got him. And then you go back to like going to your microwave and getting some popcorn and staying up to see who else gets drafted. Vivin Trent was a very safe option, and
that's not Vivin Trent. That's Andrew Mcguire.
Oh. Oh man, I'm up too late. But okay, he's what's it called though? He's very mid. He's very mid. We're not going to. Yeah, there's no real reaction to that pick though.
Yeah, I think don't really have much to say about it. Like you said, it's a mid pick. It's not a bad pick by any means. It's like there's a lot of good corners on the board still. Honestly, there's the cornerback is one of the deeper positions in this draft class if you really look at it. You got a couple running backs in here that like can play. They're not gonna be like breakout starters, and they're not ever gonna be that. But like they can get on the field for you and make some plays. So that's another group that's deep. But wide receiver, you could say that too. But as for like total talent that like can come in and play day one, like even in a slot role or something like that, or a couple snaps, I think cornerback is the best place for that in this draft, and I think this is a decent pick. It's a good pick.
Okay, the Red Rules pick is in. So we'll take it down to the commish. With the 25th pick of round 2 of the first ever GCL Pro Draft, the Red Wolves select Matt Roper, running back from Texas A&M.
Great pick. Great pick in my opinion. Once again, one of those guys who has a phenomenal story. For those of you who do not know, Matt Roper, once again, one of those modern day guys, played on a really bad high school team, was really bad in high school himself. Came into college with no offers, walked on to Texas A&M through a connection that he had with Miles McCain, who actually, pleaded and made a case for Matt Roper to at least get a walk-on position at Texas A&M, and just wowed the entire nation, becoming the second leading rusher. I also believe he also was second in touchdowns as well, both behind Cartier Sidney. But just, I mean, it's phenomenal to see where he's come from, to see how far his hard work and dedication and the will to, the will to reach his goals and see his dreams play, pro football. I mean, it's a great story for this young man.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Great story, man. So it looks like the next pick is in by the Brawlers. So let's go down, take it down to the commission. With the 26th pick, round 2 of the first ever GCL Pro Draft, the Brawlers select Josiah Miles, wide receiver from LSU. I'm gonna say solid pick here.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
You picked.
Go ahead.
Like, I'll say this is a solid pick because you picked up Ty Bloongren. You need, you're gonna get his teammates, keep the chemistry going. I feel like it's a solid pick here.
I agree. You gonna
very solid.
Go ahead, Numa.
No, I was just saying he's a very solid pick.
Yeah, very solid pick. You get him, especially Ty. From what I can remember from Ty, that was Josiah Miles was his favorite target or his go-to target, and he's a red zone threat. He has a lot of height, and Ty loves to put those throw balls that are high for defenders that defenders have a hard time catching them for Josiah Miles. So you continue to give him that weapon, and that will help him in his process of developing into an amazing quarterback for your offense.
Yeah, you look in that Georgia game in the playoffs, when Ty needed a receiver to make a play, who did he go to? He went to Miles. We're kind of seeing this trend here in this draft where receivers and quarterbacks that have played with each other before are getting paired up in pros together. And I do think it's that comfortability thing and that recognition and being able to, plug a rookie quarterback in there and let him have the confidence with someone and let them go through it together in the process instead of just one going alone and having to figure out the game by himself and trying to reestablish this whole new chemistry with a whole new team, and while trying to also lead the entire, organization.
I think we're in the era of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Like we see what they were able to do out there in Cincinnati, how they were able to just click immediately. So I think that's what the defenders coaches and these Brawlers coaches are trying to work towards as well. They just want to have their quarterbacks have a easier time adjusting to the pro playbook and adjusting to the speed. So like they say, things are always easier to do when you do it with a friend. So good pick. And hey, can't wait to see what the Brawlers are able to do with Josiah Miles and Tyler Bloongren.
Okay,
yeah, exactly.
I feel that. Okay, with the next pick of the GCL draft, the pick is in. I wonder what team it is. The pick is in is the Lobsters. Oh, it's gonna be an interesting choice right here. I wonder who they're gonna go with. Let's take it down to the commission. Let's find out, fellas. With the 27th pick of the second round of the first ever GCL Pro Draft, the Lobsters select Omari Harris Jr., wide receiver from Miami.
This is the second worst pick in the draft.
Pack him up.
So
it's like that?
Are we saying that's worse than Malik Justice?
Second worst.
Pack him up. That is that's not it, bro. That's not it.
That might be the worst. You could have gotten him at 3. I get it. He's a user. You want to be the guy that gets the dark horse and
you
turn him
think
into
this
the
is
guy
better? You think this is worse than Malik Justice?
Yo,
God,
let me read off.
What was on the board? Let's think about that.
Let me read off what was left on the board. You still have C.T. Williams. You have Surreal Cox. You have who else you got?
Yeah, I'm taking Cox on this pick if I'm picking a receiver.
You got Trey. You got Trey Sharkley. You got
Let's
Bobby
keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. There was a chance that Amari Harris was going to actually stay back another year in college. He was almost not considered to be draftable.
Exactly. And that's, I don't know. I don't get the thought process. Must be some character thing. I don't know.
It has to be like, oh, this guy wowed me in the interview, and I just fell in love with him. Because there's no way you draft him with your second round pick, man. This is like you. I wouldn't have drafted him until the 4th or 5th round and said, "Hey, you're trash, but we're going to see if you can be something. But you're still trash, and I'm not, and I didn't want to waste the second round pick on you." That's why I say it's possibly worse than a Malik Justice pick. The Malik Justice pick is so bad because there's so many options. You know what? Nah, Malik Justice is the worst pick. 0-6, 0-6 quarterback. You got Trey King. You have Kalen Wright. You have Spencer Fields. You have so many quarterbacks on the board still. Yeah, Malik Justice is the worst. That's the worst pick. Might be the worst pick of all time, honestly. I don't see anybody making the worst pick next year. I'm gonna go ahead and call it.
Terrell Pryor levels. So it's Terrell Pryor levels of bad.
Yeah. The only way you make a worse selection next year is if, like, I don't know, you draft a kicker in the first round.
That's what I was gonna say.
With the first overall pick.
At least the kicker could bring some value. These picks won't.
Please draft him in the top 10 teams if you do so he'll at least be a superstar or a superstar X factor so that he can have some impact on the game. Please.
Kickers are people too, okay?
They're people that don't that play only like
that don't matter.
Yeah, that play 5% of the snaps of the game. Like, they matter, but they're only 5% of the game.
I mean, but hey, sometimes that 5% is the 5% that you need to either win or lose. We see how many field goals have we seen, that determine whether a team wins or loses a game.
We've seen that. Now, okay, so are you going to go with the girl that gives you the 80% or the girl that gives you the 20%?
Yeah, I'm gonna take that 80, sir.
Alrighty then. Don't take no. So, point blank period, guys. This pick sucks. Malik Justice pick sucks. Don't draft the kicker in the first round next year or in any year, honestly. And that's it. That's it for this pick.
Yeah, let's get to the next pick, man.
All right, let's take it down. The Fox's pick is in. Let's take it down to the commission. With the 28th pick of the round 2 of the first ever GCL Pro Draft, the Foxes select Iron Galactic cornerback
Alabama.
From Alabama.
Much better. Whew.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a guy that can man coverage, zone coverage. You got someone that can actually play football compared to the guy that was picked last selection, who can't route run, cannot create no separation, barely can get off the line. I'm sorry. Enough about him. Iron Galactic, great pick. Alabama cornerback. I feel like he's better than Mcguire that was picked earlier, but yeah. I guess that comes down to preference. But I love this pick.
I mean, yeah. Iron Galactic, a nice, big, physical cornerback. Could even, in my opinion, if you really wanted to, he has a lot of pop in his tackles. You can even throw him out there in at strong safety. His zone coverage is that good, and I do believe his open field tackling is very solid for him to play a strong safety role if you really wanted to move him there.
Yeah. Foxes, this is their first pick in the draft so far, as they're building kind of for next year. 2 first-round picks. I think they have 2 second-round picks. I'm not too sure, but this is a team that's kind of looking the future, kind of in a rebuild mode. But for a first pick, I think this is a great pick. I think this is one of those DBs that kind of slid under the radar and could have been picked as early as when Jalen Brooks did. I mean, he still had Smokey on the board, but I think, they're both great corners. And like I said, it's a deep class for corners, and I think this is a good pick for the value of it.
Yeah, I agree. Now let's get to that next pick.
Ice.
We're getting there. Pick not in yet. A little more minute.
Well, the next pick is the Waves. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who would they would get right now. Who
Uh,
would y'all get that's still on the board?
I mean, Arlington Waves. I say, I mean, all right. The Arlington Waves had the third pick in the draft. I don't know how, but they were finessed out of the third pick for a tight end, for a tackle. Not a X Factor tackle, not a superstar tackle, regular tackle. Uh, so that was a
Gotta love a
smart
good
decision.
GM.
Let's just hope that this pick they make here is a smart decision here. You still got a lot of players up on the board. You still got Miles Minter, you got Caden Wright, uh, CT Williams, Clayton Zeno, Surreal Cox, Tyler Bowman Jr. from UGA. You got Alex, tight end from Tennessee. I cannot pronounce his last name, so you got Javad Storm, Rizza Locke. You got a lot of people still left on the board that you can go after.
Okay, the pick is in. The Waves pick is in. Let's take it down to the commission. With the 29th pick, round 2 of the first ever GCL draft, the Waves select Miles Minter, quarterback from Alabama.
That's a solid pick.
I probably would have went Kalen Wright, but
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to say you still got Kalen Wright though. That
Yeah.
it's risky. Miles Minter's not a bad quarterback.
he showed flashes. He really did.
Yeah.
There was times you were like, "Hey, that's a good play. That was a good throw. That was a good run," but it was just the consistency part of it.
I would definitely say he's more of a systematic quarterback. So as long as Arlington can implement a system where they feel like he can thrive, then hey, it's a safe pick with me.
I agree. I think honestly, I think the pick between him and Kalen Wright's the safer pick, and I will give them brownie points. I'll give the Waves brownie points for going a little risque and getting Miles Minter because that pick is risky, but it could come out to be a better pick than Kalen Wright. Honestly, look if we look back, possibly in 2 to 3 years, looking back at it.
I mean, Kalen Wright has more of that the wow factor. You know, Kalen Wright had more plays that he made that he was like, wow, that's we saw flashes of like a really great quarterback.
Agreed. He was dotting up. I know this is gonna be a tough subject for Ice, but he was dotting up LSU's defense in the college football playoffs and charged them down the field and closed.
Are you talking about Kalen Wright?
Yeah.
You said what?
Are you talking about Kalen Wright right now or Miles Minter?
I'm talking about Kalen Wright.
Okay, good. Well, yeah.
Okay,
I understand what you're talking about, but we on the Miles Minter pick. That's why I got confused.
Okay, I'm just saying. We was talking about Kalen Wright, so I was just talking about him a little bit. But yeah, okay. So back to Miles Minter. Great quarterback. I love him. I love the risk that the Waves took. Let's see if it benefited them, especially because, like Numa said, they lost their 3rd overall pick. So yeah, they're gonna definitely have to get a little risky in this 2nd round to make up for that loss.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. I feel that. Well, with the 30th pick, the pick is in for the Mystics. So take it down to the commission. With the 30th pick of the 2nd round of the GCL draft, the Mystics select Kalen Wright, QB from Georgia.
There we go. And I believe that's the 5th quarterback off the board, or is that the 6th quarterback off the board? Yeah. Oh, that's the. That's the 6th. That's the 6th quarterback off the board. So wow, Kalen Wright, Miles, number 2 guy, wasn't it? Was it number 2 and number 3 guy?
No, he was 4.
4. Number 4 guy. He gets taken at with the 6. He's the 6th quarterback off the board. Miles, how do you feel about that?
He should have gone a lot earlier. You could have made an argument for him to be the 3rd quarterback chosen, him or TK, really. But neither of them were because the Owls. I don't know their draft process, but overall, you say what you want about him. He led his team to a national championship.
Sorry guys to cut you off, but I need the two commissioners. I need one commissioner, Numa, to please check league office, and I need Tank to check league office. Thank you. You can continue.
Anyway, say what you want about him. You look at it, and he led his team to a national championship, a 5-1 record, beat the best defense in the league in LSU at their home field. I mean, the dude showed up when you needed him to. That's all that matters. At the end of the day, he got you W's. And there was games, he went off. I do think he was better than Kalen Diaz. I think he was better than like I said, mostly all the quarterbacks that were selected in the second round ahead of him. He was better than. And like outside of Ty and Miles, he could have been that third guy selected. Like I said, it could have been him or TK.
The legendary lefty, I'm gonna call him. Without a doubt, probably top 2, top 3 quarterbacks in this draft. Without a doubt, in my opinion, the best left-handed quarterback I've ever seen in my life. His release is just so beautiful and everything is just smooth. It doesn't ever seem like his mechanics are chunky or anything. And I don't know. It's a steal of a pick in my opinion for Orlando. Because you just got yourself, in my opinion, the best leader besides Miles McCain in the draft.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and where did he went to? Kalen Wright went to
Survite.
Survite? Yeah, okay.
That's cool.
That's where I got confused at.
Yeah, I get him and Miles Minter
yeah,
up.
me too. That's why I was like, did he lead his team to a natty? I can't remember. I always get those two mixed up. They're equally as inactive.
And then we look at the next pick. It's going to be the Mustangs. I wonder what I think they should get. So they got a 88 quarterback from that trade. I would build up that receiving core if I was them. You got C.T. Williams from Alabama. You got Surreal Cox from UGA. You even got Clayton Zeno. And then if you don't want to build up your offense, you want to build up your defense, you can go Javon Storm from UGA. You got King Bryant from Cincinnati. You even got Tyler Bowman Jr. from Georgia. And Dante Bongani from Wake Forest. There's so many options to go. Where would y'all go with this pick? I would personally get C.T. Williams.
Well, I think... Wait, what team? Sorry.
The Mustangs.
Okay, the Mustangs. Yeah, the Mustangs have needs everywhere. So, literally, any position they go is going to be W other than quarterback. If they go quarterback, I mean, that's not a good pick because they got a 24-year-old or 25-year-old 88 overall X Factor. That's not the pick to make. Yeah. Everywhere else, this team needs help everywhere. So, literally, they could go punter and it'd be a win for them because I don't even know if they have one on roster.
All right, the Mustangs pick is in.
Before you announce that pick real quick, I would just want to say, I believe I agree with Miles, but I would say the most important thing you want to get is another weapon for your young X Factor rated quarterback. Get him some help out there because God knows the Mustangs need it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure they're running.
Well, let's take it down to the commish.
Overall.
With the 31st pick of round 2, which concludes round 2, the Mustangs select, of the first ever GCL Pro draft, the Mustangs select Boone Carter, Mississippi State quarterback.
Oh, my God. Why?
No.
Why?
This was not a good pick. This was not a good pick.
You could have picked anything. Like Miles said, you could have picked a punter and it would have been
This is literally the position they didn't need. Literally every position they needed except this position. And they chose a quarterback at this position. Terrible pick. I take it back. Malik Justice, not the worst pick. This is the worst pick. Not because of the player or anything, but because of what the team needs. This team is so bad. I'm not even exaggerating. I wish I could pop it up for you. Everywhere they are so bad. And their only bright spot on this roster is their X Factor quarterback, who's young, not like he's old, young, on the early side of 20,
Yeah, he's
and
very
you choose
young.
a quarterback. This is idiotic. This is stupid. Like, this is the worst pick. I take it all back. I take it all back. This is the worst pick.
This is like trading and getting Joe Burrow and then saying,
Let me
what
draft
if
Kenny
something
Pickett.
happened to Joe Burrow? Like, what?
I draft Joe
Yeah.
Burrow. I draft Joe Burrow 1 year, then the next year I'm just like, yep, give me Kenny Pickett.
You're on the 0-16 Browns. The roster's awful. You get Tom Brady over there. Oh, I'm gonna draft a quarterback. No, what? No, that's not.
No, you don't need no. Right now, build it around the guy you just got that you traded your first overall pick for.
Like I said, they literally could have. They could have picked anyone here, anyone other than a quarterback. It doesn't even matter how deep in the draft they were going to go, or if they were projected to go undrafted. They still would have been a better pick.
Yeah,
so many options, and we rattled off all the names of possible guys that they could have gotten, and if I was them, they go and get a quarterback.
I would have went a tight end right here. There's two great tight ends out there, Weidemeier and R.J. Bennett.
Yeah,
and let's also be clear for the audience. Oh, sorry, Numa. What was you gonna say?
But I was saying, and wide receiver wise, once again, you still have C.T. Williams, Surreal Cox, you got A.J. Harris, you got Francisco Ladson, Bobby Lawson. I mean, and that's just wide receivers. Jalen Harris, and those just wide receivers. Man. I mean, you have a whole bunch of
and for the audience at home, this guy's not a good quarterback.
On the contrary,
what?
He is a very solid quarterback. Just no. Maybe
I think he's a C tier quarterback. He's a good
quarterback. I wouldn't mind.
I put him. He's probably top 10, but top 10 is not that great in this draft. Top 10, if you outside the top 5 of this draft class as far as quarterbacks go, you're going to be completely obliterated by the next class of QBs that are coming in.
I mean, yeah, we don't know that yet. We haven't seen all the quarterbacks in the next draft class.
That's very true.
But yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen college ball yet. We can't say that, and we don't know how any of these guys are actually going to play in pros if they get playing time. So, I mean, I'm not going to make that assessment yet. Yeah, there's talent coming in, but there's going to always be talent coming in.
Okay. So, Miles, this is now the worst pick for you. Numa, is this the worst pick for you?
Still not the worst pick for me, but it's a pretty bad pick.
I just don't. I don't know how it can't be. That's my thing. Is like, yeah, Malik Justice, that is a bad pick. Omari Harris, that's a bad pick. Both of them, bad picks. But at least somewhere they might be able to contribute. This will never contribute on the football field unless your quarterback gets hurt.
You think Malik Justice is going to be able to contribute?
There's a good chance if TK wants to start him, he drafted him early in the second round. There's obviously a reason why he did. We don't know what their quarterback situation is, but we do know the Mustangs team. We do know they are bad everywhere. And we know that we know their quarterback situation. They have an X Factor 25, 24-year-old. So this is literally a useless pick. This is a wasted pick. This guy, Boone Carter, will never see the field unless he gets hurt.
Yeah.
So, that's why it's the pick to me. Like, at least the other guys might be able to contribute. This will never contribute.
They could develop Boone Carter, and Boone Carter could become, the great quarterback that we all think he can.
That you think he can. I'm not taking a 65 normal dev and saying he's going to be a good quarterback.
You don't think Boone Carter would be a good quarterback?
No.
Did you watch Mississippi State play?
No, because I know his rating coming in. I know his depth trait, and I know what they have. They have an X Factor 25-year-old, 88 overall. So why would you try to develop that? What is the point of that? That's still a wasted pick. Why wouldn't you try to win now?
Bro,
why wouldn't you just trade the X Factor?
No. Why would I trade the X Factor to have him start?
To have Boone Carter start? That's what I'm saying. At that point, you might as well just trade the X Factor for more first-round picks.
So,
this is a stupid pick. Whoever's running the Mustangs, I'm sorry. Like, you are an idiot.
It's a bad pick. No, it's a really bad pick.
Like, fucking, I assume you love loogies on your sandwiches because that seems like the person you are. You like toenails.
I'll be honest. Boone Carter did not play bad at Mississippi State. He actually threw some really good passes, and he didn't.
And like
he
I
didn't
said,
have any receivers. He didn't. But
Yeah.
the thing is, Numa, like you got a X factor quarterback that's young.
Yeah.
Young.
And like I said, Boone Carter's not a bad pick. I'm not saying he's the bad pick. I'm saying the pick is bad. The choice is the worst choice in the draft.
For these next few, for round 3, 4, and 5, we do not have edits for them, so it'll just be the GCL Draft who's next screen, but I will still talk to them about them. We just talk more about them. You know, I can speed it up if you want me to, go slow. You know, it don't really matter. But you guys don't get you guys get the round 3, 4, and 5. You get the normal voice. Sorry, but for pick 33, round 3, the Mustangs select.
You skipped over the Airmen.
Skipped over the Airmen, bro.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Pick 32. There's no edit for it, sadly. But round 2, pick 32. The Airmen select C.T. Williams, wide receiver from Alabama.
I like that pick. See,
yeah,
I'm glad we ended off this round with an actual good pick. Yeah. As far as how I feel about the previous pick, though, Boone Carter, I think the Malik Justice pick is worse because there are so many quarterbacks better than him, and that pick right there was just bad in my opinion. C.T. Williams, a great pick, great wide receiver coming out of Alabama, was paired with Miles Mentor and paired with, I can't remember his teammate's name right now, but you say his name again?
Cameron Chase,
paired with another great weapon of Cameron Chase. The Alabama offense was really strong for them. It actually gave LSU, if I'm not wrong, a good game. So
For a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, for a little bit. So I like the pickup of C.T. Williams for Airmen, and I would love to see how they use him in their offense.
Okay.
I probably would have went Cox or AJ Harris here, but yeah, not a bad pick. Like I said, a lot of these picks aren't going to be really bad picks. I mean, we've seen a couple, obviously, but most of them, like I said, they're going to be, mid-level players that could contribute, and I think this is, I have my preferences, but it's not a bad pick at all.
All right.
All right, on to the third round, fellas.
The third round with pick 33, I believe this is.
Yes,
the Mustangs select Clayton Zeno, running back from Wake Forest.
Zeno!
Keeping it quick and short, that's a great pick.
I think that's a really steal. I think Zeno should have gone higher up, but great pick by the Mustangs. Bad they didn't get him in the second round. They decided to wait 2 picks, but hey, it's whatever.
Made up for it. Somewhat made up for it.
No, I think they made up for it. Zeno's a really shifty back, really speedy. I would love to see how he develops. And put some damn gloves on your hand. I hate seeing running backs that not wear gloves. It's sickening. Put some damn gloves on, Zeno.
Boy, you got no drip.
No drip.
No, but this is one of those later great picks. Like, honestly, this is a great pick. Like, running backs are deep. Should have gone sooner, I agree. Just like, some people think Cairo should have gone sooner and Matt Roper should have gone sooner. But, there isn't really a high demand for running backs in, like, real life and in the sim league because you can find them really anywhere. But good player. He was a great player at Wake Forest, second best player on that offense behind Johnson. And, he showed out in a couple games. So, a great value pick here.
Okay. With the 34th pick, round 3 of the first ever GCL draft, the High Riders select Surreal Cox, wide receiver from UGA.
Another good pick.
I was so happy when he dropped down to the 3rd round because this guy right here was very, very high on my draft board. I knew he was gonna go under the radar for a lot of guys because he's now, he's not really an active guy. He talks in the UGA locker room, doesn't really talk much in the general chat. But yeah, this guy is a burner. As if you saw him play during the college playoffs, he's just a complete burner. Tall, fast, and has hands. And man, with me drafting away my second round pick, I was really scared that I wasn't going to be able to get him. Glad he dropped all the way down here. And welcome to New York, Surreal Cox.
Okay. With the 35th pick, I believe it is.
Yes.
With the 35th pick, the Hawks select Tyler Bowman Jr., cornerbacks from UGA.
Very strong pick. I like that corner. I really like the corner out of UGA.
Yeah.
Especially because he made some big plays, honestly, or he made a couple plays in the game against LSU. And to me, that said, okay, he's not a first-round guy. Maybe a late second rounder, but in the third round, if he's available, I got to take him. I got to at least look at taking him. So I love that pick.
Okay. Pick 36, round 3, the Wave select Alex Hillgehart, tight end, from wherever he goes.
And now it makes sense to actually get a tight end. Yeah. I don't know if y'all remember, but earlier I said it's way too early to take a tight end. But they got a great tight end in Alex coming out of Tennessee. I would love to see what he does with a good quarterback as well, playing for the Waves. But yeah, I like this pick. It's a strong pick, and tight ends are a valuable position that can go under the radar for many teams.
Okay. With the round 3, with the 37th pick, the Foxes select King Bryant, D tackle from Cincy.
I like. This is a very solid pick. King Bryant really didn't have as productive as a college season that he's may have wanted, but still productive nonetheless. Still was able to push some offensive guards back, and put some pressure on the quarterback, on opposing quarterbacks. Didn't really get much sacks, but was able to get a lot of pressure on the quarterback there. Very immature. I still laugh at that.
Yeah, he's a good defensive end, and you need a guy that can at least put some pressure on the quarterback, even if he's taking up one block, it creates some more opportunities for the other guy to not get blocked. So I think he'll be he's a third round pick. He's a good third round pick who will play his role and will fit in your system.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and he's a big guy too, a lot of strength.
Yeah. So he's gonna be a problem. He's definitely gonna be a problem for opposing offensive linemen.
Okay. What pick we on? We are on now on pick 38. Round 3, the Lobsters select Javed Storm, DN from UGA.
I like Javed Storm. That's I'm liking the UGA guys from the defense getting picked up. They played a massive role in getting UGA as far as they did in this college football season. So it makes sense for them to at least get off the board. I love what Javed Storm did. Put some pressure on the QBs, got some sacks here and there. Great defensive lineman, hands down.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Javed Storm, I believe he probably should have went a little higher than the third round, because he was actually both defensive linemen for Georgia should have gone, I believe, first or second round, because like you said, Tank, they were huge parts of why Georgia was able to make it as far as they did this college season.
Okay, with pick 39, the Brawlers select in round 3 is Dylan Long, free safety from Miami.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Dante Bongani is still available. Why would you? I question that pick. I feel like you should have gone Dante Bongani instead of Dylan Long, especially because the Miami defense was nothing that really grabbed anybody's attention and really, I don't think, had any effect on the outcomes of games for Miami. So,
Yeah, I mean, you still had Dante Bongani up there. You still had, unfortunately, you still had Javarius Moore, which is, not a huge upgrade from Dylan Long, but still, in my opinion, a better pick than picking Dylan Long.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a confusing pick, but I mean, it's the third round. So I guess they were just trying to fit needs that they needed.
Yeah.
Okay. With round 3, pick 40, the defenders select Dante Bongani, free safety, Wake Forest.
Hey, I mean,
Well,
one
there
man's
you
trash.
go.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Indeed. I'm glad he got off the board. I feel like he's a way higher value player than where he's picked at. But I mean, hey, he's got the opportunity to prove it, and he has no expectations at all, thanks to being picked at this point in the third round.
Oh, man, that was a mistake there. Dante Bongani actually plays strong safety, not free safety. Probably, in my opinion, the hardest hitting player in the draft that's not a defensive lineman or defensive tackle. He caused more forced fumbles than any other secondary player in this college season.
Yeah.
I believe there's one game where he even forced two in the last quarter of a game to help Wake Forest win a game.
He's a big sleeper pick for sure. I feel like he's really gonna thrive in the pros.
Okay. Yeah, he's a really strong, angry player.
Okay, with pick 41, round 3, the Airmen selects Trey Matthews, middle linebacker from Clemson.
Okay.
I don't
have
like
to
that
speak too much on it,
Yeah,
could have went either way. There's a lot more people on here they could have got. Like Javarius Moore's on there. Well, Javarius Moore's trash, never mind. Canton Reeves on there. Big dude can really stuck up a hole. But with the 42th pick of round 3, the Roadrunners select, Javarius Moore, free safety from Cincy.
I mean, congratulations to Jay Moore for getting picked. You belong in the same category as Jalen Brooks. You're just burnt toast, bro.
Oh, the teammates ain't safe when it comes to Numa.
Fact.
That is for sure.
Well, for the 43th pick and the 44th pick, Kaiju for round 3, Kaiju had back-to-back picks. So for the 43rd, what the fuck? For the 43rd pick, the Kaiju selected Canton Reeves, D-tackle from Ole Miss, and the 44th pick, Kaiju selected Trey Sharkley, wide receiver from LSU.
With Canton Reeves on that pick, I really like that pick. Canton Reeves is one of those really, really big guys who you don't expect to be very athletic. A game against who they play, it's drawing a blank. But there was a game where he had deflected the quarterback's pass and also intercepted it at the same time. So he's very athletic, very versatile. I like this pick for Canton, and also very raw. So he's a little bit of a project, but very athletic. I like that pick for the Kaiju.
Just found out I've been muted this whole time.
I was wondering where you was.
I was here.
I didn't know if you was handling business or something, but
Hey, we don't speak on that.
Oh, I'm in for the league. Okay. But as far as that pick goes, I agree. Cold hardly. And hey, the deflection interception that Numa talked about, that'll get you drafted. That alone will get you drafted for sure. So I love to see what highlights he has in the pros.
Okay. For the 45th pick, the Strikers select Kingston Queen, strong safety from Auburn.
Well, Miles, since you've been gone, would you like to speak on this?
I don't think any.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Nah,
That's
okay.
basically it.
Moving on.
I don't think any pick from Auburn's a good pick.
For round 3, pick 46, Night Owls select Vibin Trent, cornerback from Miami.
Any defensive player from Miami is not a good pick.
Oh.
Just next.
So Miami, Auburn, don't draft.
Just
for the 47th pick of round 3, the Mystics select Keontae Jones, cornerback from Wake Forest.
Okay, I like that.
It's
better than the last 2 picks.
Deontay Jones is a very, very quiet cornerback. He was very quiet. He just did his job, locked down his side of the field, did absolutely nothing flashy, and that was it.
Okay, moving on.
I agree.
With the round 3, 48th pick, which will conclude round 3, the Volcanoes select Spencer Fields, QB from Florida.
Finally.
Hey, that's a guy that should have been gone a long time ago. I'm glad he's gone off the board, and I hope the coach utilizes him in that offense they have, because he was a great player for Florida. He wasn't Kalen Wright, but he was who they needed to get to the college football playoffs, and he had a nice, good, systematic season.
I agree. I think I would say finally, because I think he was a higher up, second round talent, not a late third round talent. But I mean, yeah, very systematic. Never really did anything wow. Never really didn't show any intangibles, to make him a first round talent. But still a solid pick for the Volcanoes.
Volcanoes has another pick to start off round 4. So with the 49th pick, round 4, the Volcanoes select Bobby Lawson, wide receiver from UGA.
Bobby Lawson, a really good route runner, really good catcher. Not particularly the fastest guy on the field, but nonetheless, he was still able to find ways to get separation from defenders, and be able to catch those perfect. I'm not gonna say that. Be able to catch the ball from Kalen Wright. Shut up, Tay.
I would have let it slide if you just didn't say anything at all.
Okay, on to the next pick. So round 4, pick 50, Mystics select Reza Locke for DN from UGA.
Rizzo Locke, once again, another finally pick. I mean, you got Javad Storm midway through the 3rd round. Then his teammate finally gets picked up in the 4th round. Makes me wonder what these coaches looking at.
Sounds like some shots from the high risers.
Bang bang.
So round.
If I had a 2nd round pick, I would have taken one of those guys off the board.
For that, round 4, pick 51, the Night Owls select AJ Harris, wide receiver at FSU.
Nice pick. I like that pick, especially if you need a wide receiver.
Yeah, that's a really good pick in my opinion. AJ Harris is a burner, man. Coming out of IMG in his high school days, he's a burner.
All right, round 4, pick 52, the Strikers select RJ Bennett from tight end from Florida.
That's another solid pick.
Yeah, I like that too. I like the picks that are being made right now. Hopefully,
I think coaches are really starting to use their noggin and realize the players that they have left behind.
Agree. because they left a couple and decided to take Malik Justice and Omari Harris. For you that's going to the microwave right now, listening, that was considering drafting Omari Harris or Malik Justice, be glad you didn't. And if you did, you're an idiot.
Okay, with pick 52, the strikers select. Round 4, pick 52. No, I already did that. Round 4, pick 53, the Rebels select Jason Jackson Widermere, tight end from Texas A&M.
Now, I might be biased. I personally love that pick because Widermere played amazing as a tight end for Miles McCain. Now, some may say it was because Miles McCain was the quarterback, and that's something we'll have to see, and that's why we used a third-round pick on him to see. We believe that he is athletic. He's a big, massive target, and will play a massive role for Texas A&M. I mean, for the Redwoods.
I got what you're saying. Yeah, we liked R.J. Bennett and Widemeyer, and just how the draft fell. We got a good tight end that started in college and made big plays for an explosive offense. He was kind of a safety valve for Miles during the season, and someone that the offense actually could rely on a lot of times. And they missed him in one game against Florida in the playoffs, and the backup got in, he got smoked and fumbled, and could have been a crazy momentum turn in that game, but luckily it wasn't. They missed him there, but he's a great, solid college player, and we're excited to see what he does in the pros.
So, round 4, pick 54, the Kaiju selects Jason Poole, quarterback from Cincy.
Pack him up.
The quarterback?
Yep.
Pack him up.
And we cannot. If there's one thing we can't do anymore, is compliment these coaches.
Well, you have to realize, bringing in Jason Poole, because the Kaiju already has a great quarterback, so they need just a backup that can just come in, and Jason Poole can run the read option.
Devin Sanchez is still on the board.
Be like that.
See, Devin Sanchez is still on the board.
Yeah.
Like what? You need a quarterback. You had Devin Sanchez.
If that's the only position they can get and fill really at this time, then go ahead. You could have gotten somebody with your 5th instead, but I don't like that pick. Not for the time now.
You have Devin Sanchez and you have Jaden Smith still on the board. 2 quarterbacks who led their teams to winning records. But yeah, you go and get the guy who only won 2 games in college and then got benched.
Yeah.
Round 4, pick 55. The Roadrunners select Jalen Harris, wide receiver from Florida.
I like that pick. I like Jalen Harris from Florida. Made some. He didn't make crazy plays for Florida, but he made the plays that were necessary for them to make it to the NCAA playoffs. And with that being said, I think he's a valuable asset that you definitely want to add to your team. A winner and a grinder.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Round 4, pick 56. Airman selects Dontavius Nash, running back from Florida.
Pack him up.
Oh, a fullback. Nice.
Moving on. Round 4, pick 57. Defenders select Aaron Brock, middle linebacker from Mississippi State.
See, now, Aaron Brock, I like this pick, right? Aaron Brock, teammates with Surreal Cox, played on his left side, I do believe. It says he played middle linebacker, but I think he played outside. He originally played quarterback for Mississippi State. Mississippi State signs Boone Carter. Boone Carter outplays Aaron Brock, and they decide, hey, you have the size to play middle linebacker. And he played decently well. Congratulations.
Okay. Round 4, pick 58. Brawler select C.J. Sampson, quarterback from Tennessee.
Let me say this one time and one time only. Pack him up.
All right, moving on. Round 4, pick 59. Lobster select Donovan Jackson, tight end from Florida.
That's a solid pick. I like that one.
Yeah.
From FSU.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah, because R.J. Bennett was Florida.
Yeah. From FSU. He was actually Donovan Jackson was like their leading receiver.
Yeah, all tight ends in this draft were actually really solid. It was just a matter of when they were going to go.
Okay, well, round 4, pick 60. Foxes select Devin Sanchez, quarterback from Wake Forest.
There we go. There's that boy.
Yep. That's a good pick for the time in the draft.
Yeah, that's
and all the other trash that went in front of him.
That's probably the best. And for every team that drafted a quarterback, like what? My thing is, why didn't they choose Devin Sanchez? Like,
I don't know.
My thing is, Devin Sanchez in the college season had led the most fourth quarter comebacks of any other quarterback.
Well, some people just don't need a quarterback because their quarterback, is running for MVP candidate first year. So it's like it happens.
We're talking about Malik Justice, like
that too.
Yeah. But for
Sanchez,
I can't speak on them. But for the Kaiju who has 2 first-round picks next draft,
but you still chose Jason Poole
and have a number 1 quarterback in the Pro Series.
Okay, but remember this.
But when you draft, you want to draft someone that's going to come in and make an impact. You're not going to just draft someone that's.
Why are we talking about the Kaiju right now? What does that have to do with Devin Sanchez?
Right.
No, because I made the
a lot of them.
I made the point that like he should have gone like higher, such as like Jason Poole. And he's he makes a case. He doesn't really need a quarterback. His quarterback's really good. Okay, that's fine.
And why select a quarterback at all?
So let's say it's the fourth quarter. You're down by 2 scores, and your quarterback that you have faith in gets hurt.
I put my faith in Jason Poole.
Then you have
faith in Jason Poole.
He's a vegetable. He's in a wheelchair.
I will put my faith in Jason Poole.
Bro, Ty didn't even put his faith in Jason Poole.
He got
benched the last.
That's not my problem.
He got benched.
Yeah, I would have chose.
I chose
Sanchez over Poole
for a reason. I have faith in Jason Poole.
Jason Poole.
Okay, just like everybody else that drafted players they did, like Malik Justice and Omari Harris. Move on to the next pick.
Round 4, pick 61. The Wave select DeAndre Jordan, cornerback from Florida.
All right. Yeah. That's going to hell.
Wait, what? What happened to take?
I said, yeah, it's going to hell. It's going to hell.
Round 4, pick 62. The High Riser select AJ McAfee, running back from FSU.
Yes, sir. Another player that
That's a good pick.
I actually wanted him higher up, but I couldn't really get a trade to get higher up. But yeah, AJ McAfee. Actually, I think he was also a top 5 rusher in the nation, leading there for Florida State. But yeah, I like that pick. I hope you guys like that pick, and if you don't, suck it.
Round 4. Pick 63 to conclude round 4. Mustangs select Don Basil, D tackle from Notre Dame.
Exactly.
All right. And for round 5, I'm just gonna speed through this, and we'll talk about the whole round at the end.
Okay.
You cool with that?
Yeah.
All right. For round 5, pick 64, Mustangs select Richard Goex. Cornerback Tennessee. Round 5, pick 65. High Risers select Caden Walker, quarterback from Pitt. Trash. Round 5, pick 66. Hawks select Drake Hoffner.
Trash.
Quarterback from Notre Dame. Trash. Round 5, pick 67. Wave select Marcus Health, wide receiver from Mississippi State. Round 5, pick 68. Defender select Jack Ryder from Notre Dame, wide receiver and tight end. Round 5, pick 69, Lobster selects CJ Valentine, running back from Auburn.
Gotcha.
Round 5, pick 70, Brawler select Jake Spadesky, wide receiver from Mississippi State. Pick 71, Fox select Javante Ele, running back from Ole Miss. Round 5, pick 72, Ravens select Chris Chapman, wide receiver Texas A&M. And I got word on that they might not even sign him. Round 5, pick 73, strikers select Jaden Curry, cornerback from Pitt. Round 5, pick 74, Kaju selects Austin Davis Jr., running back from Pitt. Round 5, pick 75, strikers select Jason McClellan, running back from Alabama. Pick 76, strikers select Jace Turner, quarterback from Ole Miss. Round 5, pick 77, Night Owls select Francisco Ladison Jr., round receiver from Clemson. Round 5, pick 78, Mystics select Chance Klingo, wide receiver Ole Miss. Round 5, pick 79, Volcano select Jaden Smith, quarterback from FSU. That concludes the first ever GCL Pro Draft. Thank you for all coming out. We will talk about round 5, and I will have Tank talk about his draft grades.
All right. Well, I think we should all just say the names for round 5 that we liked. I like Jake Spadesky. Sorry about that, y'all. I like Jake Spadesky. I like Chris Chapman. I like Francisco Lasden. I do like Jaden Smith, the quarterback from FSU. And I also like Chase Klingo. I think all those guys are, well, the wide receivers are really good wide receivers. They played a great role, a great hidden role for their teams. And then I like the quarterback for FSU because, I mean, he has some great weapons, and he made those weapons look even better, I feel like. So I think that pickup, and especially him being the last pickup, who knows? He could end up being Tom Brady. Those are my notables from the 5th round.
My notables, I would have to say, are going to be Caden Walker. I would definitely have Marcus Health up there. Definitely would also have what's his name, Javante Ewey, and then also last for me would probably be Francisco Laston Jr. Go through it. Caden Walker, pretty solid quarterback at Pitt. Led them to a fairly decent season. I needed a backup quarterback, so got Caden Walker. Marcus Health was a big help to Boone Carter and to making him look like a pretty decent quarterback. And then Francisco Ladson Jr. Once again, I have no idea why or how Richard Grooms got picked over this guy, but he had more receiving yards, more touchdowns, more receptions than Richard Grooms over there at Clemson, and also helped. What's his face? What's his name?
What's his face?
What's his name?
Trash.
Kalen
Diaz.
Yeah, really got Kalen Diaz. Look like he knows how to throw a football. And yeah, those are my notables for the 5th round.
All right, Tank, if you want to talk about draft grades, go ahead, and the floor is yours.
All right, so we're gonna first go on to the defenders draft grade. I personally gave them an A. Now it was tough between an A or an A plus, but I basically gave them an A because they got Miles McCain, the best quarterback in the draft. They traded their first overall, or not their first overall. They traded their quarterback for Miles. So, I mean, that was their team need. They also drafted a wide receiver, which they need. They actually drafted 2 wide receivers, which they really need. So, as far as the Rock League pick, I gave them an A plus. Now the Johnson pick, the Wake Forest wide receiver pick, I gave them an A minus. Great high caliber player, but I feel like you could have gotten Jet, and if they would have gotten Jet instead, I would have given them an A or A plus. Now they did get Dante Bongani in the 3rd round, so that was an A plus. They got Aaron Brock, I gave that a B plus, and then Jack Ryder in the 5th round, a nice little tight end / wide receiver pickup, gave that a B. Now on to the Road Runners. Drafted one of the deadliest wide receivers in college football to improve their offense, then waited and drafted their biggest need, which is a QB, and Trey King. So I gave the Jet Harrison pick an A plus. I gave the Trey King pickup an A. I probably should have given it an A plus, but I just gave it an A. And then in the third round, they got Javarius Moore. I gave that a C minus because while he was the best available player on the board, as you heard by Numa, burnt toast. And then Jalen Harris in the fourth round was a B. Now, for the high risers, Numa's team drafting the best defensive player makes it pretty hard to give them anything below a B, especially with them drafting quality players that'll play a nice supportive role this upcoming season. But all eyes will be on Chang. I mean, that dude's a Mack truck, A plus. Eric Chang, draft grade. Surreal Cox, they gave that a B plus. AJ McCaffrey gave that a B plus. But then when it came to the Caden Walker pick, I gave it a C minus because I didn't really see the value in that pick. But as you heard from Numa himself, that was just a guy that they had to play backup. Now, with the Red Wolves, I gave them an A. Yes, I gave my team an A. Their goal was clear. It was in the first round to build the foundation of the defense, and they drafted the second best middle linebacker, and they drafted the best free safety in the draft. Both made big plays this season. And then they drafted Bongani, but ended up trading him for future picks. And passed on Cairo. So I kind of took off points for that though because they passed on Cairo. But they ended up getting Roper, who will fill that need at the running back position and be a nice little combo running back package with the guy they have currently. So I gave the Surreal Cox pick an A plus, the Ice pick an A, the Matt Roper pick an A minus, Trey Matthews B, Jackson Weidemeyer a B plus, and then the fifth round selection of Chris Chapman a B plus because I love what I saw from Chris Chapman as the third receiving option for Texas A&M. Now, when we get to the Kaiju, some may question why Tajay was given such a high grade, but he's possibly the best, honestly, the perfect linebacker in this draft, and also has massive potential. Top that with them drafting the most slept on, but yet explosive power back in Cartier Sydney and Smokey Lockhart makes their draft beautiful. The question is if Sydney is better than Cairo. So I gave the Tajay Gaddy pick an A plus, the Sydney pick an A plus, the Smokey Lockhart pick a B plus. I gave their Canton Reeves pick a C plus. Trey Sharkley pick, wide receiver from LSU, a B minus. Their fourth round pick selection of Jason Poole, I gave that a C minus. And then the selection of Austin Davis Jr., the running back out of Pitt, a C. Now on to the Lobsters. Started off the draft strong, drafting possibly the best cornerback in the draft and filling that deep need at the cornerback position. They had, but questionable thing they did was drafting Omari Harris in the second round. He's been more active as of recent, but I mean, I question if it'll be enough for him to save his career from the downhill trajectory it's currently on. So the Christopher Newman pick, I gave an A plus. Omari Harris pick, I give a D plus because that plus is for him being a user. Then you also have the Javon Storm pick, I give that a B minus, and the Donovan Jackson pick, B minus, and the CJ Valentine pick, I give a C plus. Now, when it comes to the Airmen, traded out of the first round and got two, in my opinion, first round caliber players still in the second round in Richard Grooms and Raquise Bonquiqui. Richard Grooms being a tall, agile, beautiful route runner that played a mixture of wide receiver and tight end for Clemson, and being Kalen's best option and will be switching to free safety for them. So the question is, how will he transition to that role? Then Bonquiqui being a top 8 player in this draft, getting traded to their team was a massive grab for them. That'll increase their team's value tenfold. Them drafting CT also adds more depth to their wide receiver room. So the Richard Grooms pick, I gave an A minus. The Bonquiqui trade acquisition, I gave an A plus. The Andrew Mcguire cornerback from Miami, I gave a B plus. CT Williams, I gave a B. And then Dontavius Nash, who they drafted in the 4th round, I gave a C plus. Now, is he bad, or is he really a fullback in disguise as a running back? Yes, that's very true. But in that same token, that was the best guy they could have gotten, in my opinion, or one of the best guys they could have gotten, in my opinion. Now we get to the Brawlers. The Brawlers had an average to above average draft, getting the position they really needed, getting a nice piece to pair with their young quarterback, who he'll be familiar with, but then drafting the best player on the board rather than what they actually need. But then ending it off strong with drafting a comparable receiver in Jake Spodesky. So they drafted Tyler Bloongren in the 1st round. I gave that grade an A plus. 2nd round they got Josiah Wiles. 3rd round Dylan Long. I gave that a C plus. 4th round C minus because they drafted C.J. Sampson, the quarterback out of Tennessee, when they already drafted Tyler Bloongren. And then I gave the Jake Spodesky pick a B minus. The Hawks. Hawks got a player who hasn't or wasn't on many teams' draft boards, but is a high caliber defensive end who wreak havoc against opposing teams' offensive lines with potential. I also love the pick of Tyler Bowman Jr., who played great at Georgia and was feared in the LSU versus Georgia game in the college football playoffs because he did not get the ball passed his way many times in that game. And when he did, he made a play on the ball.
That
I
ball
gave
got
the
bagged on
town.
by tight ends.
You said what?
He got bagged on.
Yeah, he's a corner. He's supposed to guard wide receivers. So I gave the Tomlin Juicer pick an A, the Tyler Bowman pick an A minus, and the Drake Hoffner pick with the quarterback from Notre Dame in the 5th round a D plus. I didn't really like that pick, but they are overall had an A minus draft grade. See, the Florida Strikers, I gave them a C plus. Strikers either massively hit or massively missed in this year's draft. Kalen Diaz was an amazing pick and will be a great acquisition for the future of their team. Dylan Bennett in the 4th round was beautiful, and that landed in their lap. But then you look at the J.D. Dixon pick when they could have gotten Matt Roper, and the Kingston pick, who showed me nothing this season. It's hard to say they didn't have an average draft, so that's why they got the C plus. Kellen Diaz pick being given us an A grade, the J.D. Dixon pick given a D plus, the Kingston Queen pick given a C. Honestly, probably a C minus or a D plus would have been more accurate. And then the RJ, but they did get RJ Bennett. So you see what I mean about the massively hit or massively missed. So I gave that pick of RJ Bennett an A minus. And then they got Jaden Curry, cornerback from Pitt. They got Jake McClellan, running back out of Alabama, and Joyce Turner, quarterback out of Ole Miss. I gave all those picks C's or C minuses. Mustangs had a C draft. All I gotta say is they drafted Boone Carter, a quarterback, in the 2nd round when you traded for an 88 overall quarterback who's 24 years old and is an X factor. But they did draft Clayton Zeno, so that saved their draft. But then you go and draft Don Brazil. I don't look at that pick as that great of a pick, but they also did get Richard Gox, and I gave that pick a B minus. He's the cornerback out of Tennessee. I like the pick, but in general, I just gave them an overall grade of a C. When it comes to the Mystics, I gave them a B minus. Mystics come in with a clear-cut goal of strengthening their passing game, and they executed very well. I believe Richard Grooms was a better option with their 1st-rounder, but is still a good receiver. Nonetheless, I love the pickup of Kalen Wright, who led Georgia to the national championship game, overcoming LSU's stellar defense to do so, but ended up losing to Texas A&M's spectacular offense. The 1st-round pick of Cameron Chase, I gave a B plus. The 2nd-round pick of Kalen Wright, I gave a B. The 3rd-round pick of Keontae Jones, I gave a C plus. The 4th-round pick of Reza Locke, I gave B because that's the defensive end from Georgia, which the defense was Georgia's bread and butter. And then Chase Klingo from a wide receiver out of Ole Miss. I like that pick from him. Now we get to the Foxes. We're almost done, guys, but I'm at the Foxes. They drafted two great defensive players, King Bryant being snagged in the third round and was a great move and will definitely have an impact on the line. And Iron Galactic, which will have which will definitely have a great impact and will be an amazing player to just plug into their secondary and give him some juice. So I gave the Iron Galactic pick a B plus, the King Bryant pick a B. The fourth round pick of Devin Sanchez, I gave a C. Could be higher. I wouldn't put it. No, I wouldn't say it's lower, but it could be higher. And then Javonte Ely, I gave that pick. That's the running back out of Ole Miss. I gave that pick a C. Now, why did I give the Devin Sanchez pick a C? Because I don't know how much they need a quarterback. So I feel like they just got the best guy they could possibly get, but I don't know if they're going to actually use him. Now, the Volcanoes, I gave their pick a B plus. Spectacular that Cairo fell to them in the last pick of the first round. Cairo had a fantastic year at LSU, being a running back, leading his team to the college football playoffs, giving Derrick Henry type vibes. Then you add that with the Jalen Brooks addition in the second round, who will be a problem for opposing teams' quarterbacks. He's going to get some picks, but he's also going to get burnt. Definitely a Trayvon Diggs. But I would love to see what goes on in practice, especially with them acquiring Spencer Fields. I love their draft. Love their draft. And I can't wait to see how their team performs. I gave them a B plus. The Cairo pick, I gave them an A. For the Jalen Brooks grade, I gave them an A. For the Spencer Fields pick, I gave them a B plus. Bobby Lawson, B minus. Jaden Smith, quarterback from FSU, C minus, because I wanted to give him a D so badly, but I just said, hey, I think that guy is actually good. So maybe it's nice that they have that guy as well to be behind Kalen Wright, just in case things don't go well with Kalen Wright. But I do think that they should have gone elsewhere. Now, as far as the Night Owls go, in their second to last team, guys, I believe Kalen Wright is the better quarterback and would have been the better selection there. But Malik Justice isn't a bad system guy. Not to mention Trey King was available and a way better playmaker. I need to see more from Vibin Trent, but for now, I like the pickup. But AJ Harris and Francisco were beautiful selections at the spots they got selected at. I really want to see how their offense looks next year with Malik Justice, a D grade, Vibin Trent, a C plus grade, but with their offense, they got the Clemson wide receiver Francisco Laston, gave that pick a B, and AJ Harris, I gave that pick a B minus. And now we're closing out, and on behalf of everybody here, I would like to appreciate you for actually watching this all the way through. Make sure y'all leave a like and subscribe if you're new to this league. As far as the waves are concerned, Miles was a great game manager for Alabama. A great game manager for Alabama and made some amazing throws. So I gave that pick a B, and then you also pair him with a weapon. You got to get your young quarterbacks a weapon. And they did that. They got Alex, tight end out of Tennessee. And then in the fourth round, they got DeAndre Jordan, cornerback from Florida. That was just best defensive player on the board that was available at that time. And then Marcus Health, wide receiver out of Mississippi State. I don't know what Numa saw. Maybe I had to watch Mississippi State a little bit more. But I gave that pick a C because it was a pretty average pick. But that is all for the draft grades. And I'm going to hand things back to Ice.
Okay, guys, thank you very much on this sweet, beautiful Monday. Thank God for us doing this, letting us be able to do this draft and all. Thank you for all coming out, like, comment, and subscribe, like Tank said. I'll be ending it off with some news and then my closing remarks. For some news coming up, Wednesday will be the start of preseason games for the pros. Yes, Wednesday it is. We will be kicking off with the preseason game I got to check again. I don't know who's playing yet, but I think we will start off with Tokyo versus the Waves. If I'm not, I can check real quick. Hold on, guys. Let me check real quick. Hold on, guys. Let me check real quick. We will be starting it off with. Okay, so we decided. I'm gonna decide to start it off with Chicago Foxes versus the Red Wolves. There'll be 2 games that day. It'll be Chicago Foxes versus the Red Wolves, and I believe the Hawks versus the Brawlers that day. And then, because Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday will be all preseason games, back to back to back. And then next week will be start of week 1 on Monday. So, I hope you guys ready for the season. Let's do this. Like, comment, subscribe, like he said. This is Ice. Numa and Miles have already exited the building. Tank is here. Thank you so much for joining us.
No problem.
GCL out. This is Ice. Coming with the spice. And hope y'all have a good night.